Yeah, no, not a whole lot. I, I've got Mickstape on my back and the ball in a cup
Sure,
tournament. The important things happening in the country today.
sure. One of us had to do it.
Listen,
It wasn't going to be me, so
no, very famously not you.
mm-mm.
Marty Mush. I think someone took out his brain, kicked it around for a few days, and then they didn't even put it back in the correct way.
How could you tell?
I guess maybe with the distraction of sports before, he was like, oh, I'm just going to be bad at gambling. And like the other ideas would trickle out slowly. Now he's only got time for those ideas.
What did he think this time?
He's eating Oreos in the shower, which I don't hate the general concept, but it's like
Sure.
the shower water is adding to his taste, which this is a man, again, who will not put milk in cereal because it'll get too saggy, but shower water on Oreos, just what the doctor ordered. I can't tell if Tyler's frozen or beyond furious at this news. It's honestly both acceptable responses, because that's what kind of lunatic Martin J. Mush has become. Well, Tyler figures out whatever the fuck's going on over there, I'm going to play it for the good people at home, because it's a great way to pass
There we
the
go.
There he is.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't know what. The circle started circling.
I thought maybe you were just frozen in anger.
Yeah, furious at something, I'm sure.
Did you hear
So
yeah.
I heard the Oreos in the shower, but is he like wetting them in the shower water?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but he wants his cereal and milk in different cups. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Consistency.
Just say you don't like, because if so, he should be doing his cereal like this. No, he should just be dipping it in water, right? Sound like he just don't like milk.
He may.
Fuck this guy. Is basically what I'm trying to get to the bottom.
No, I agree with this point wholeheartedly.
Yeah, like I don't mind, washing my back. I've got a sleeve of Oreos.
Right.
Just grab a couple. I've heard.
Yeah, change the song, grab an O.
Yeah, grab a rack. I don't mind polishing off an entire big 60 of cookies every morning if need be. So that's the thing with Mush, man. He's the best pilot in the world at taking off.
Without question.
And he cannot figure out how to land to save anyone's life.
He's Game of Thrones as a person.
Yeah. No,
he'll throw a lot of ideas at you. You don't always know who he's talking about. He doesn't always introduce things well, and he sure as hell will not end it in a coherent manner.
No, because even if Game of Thrones fell off in season 4 and had 4 straight trash seasons like this, it'd be more like that's disrespectful to Game of Thrones.
Wow.
As much as I hate to give anything to Game of Thrones after they did season 6 and never returned, rude. No, he gets up in the air. He can do. He's a stunt pilot. He does stunt pilot shows for. They even have those anymore? I feel like I only hear about them when something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, I think they kicked that guy off the plane and they brought in the air marshal to take his seat.
Yeah. And that's Mush. He's up there. He's like, I just spelled my name and dotted the I, but I don't know how to land this thing. It's like, well, do something. You're headed a school bus of children. He's like, yeah, I see it. I just don't know what to get at here. And then the plane crashes. That's Mush's idea. No one is killed but Mush.
Yeah. I mean, that ideal, some are saying. It was weird. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, like walking the hounds and whatnot, and they had recorded it like last Wednesday and it came out today. There's too much world happening right now to leave that much of a gap.
Imagine like if all this was going on and I'm to some extent it was, but like in 1952, like the Time editors, like, man, we get once a month. We gotta just take a stab in the dark. Like what?
Well, this was like The Simpsons writing episodes like a year in advance.
Right. Yeah, it's like, listen, some of these are gonna land, some of these are not, but the ones that land are gonna stick.
Sometimes they would leave like after they got a few seasons under their belt, and they were like, there's no war in Crimea anymore. Like we can,
we can land that plane. Yeah.
They would just like write random mouth movements, and they're like, we'll fill in the lines when we get there. Like the week of, then we'll punch in some lines. Gerald Ford might not be with us. That joke may be in poor taste.
The Denver Broncos. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was the best. When I was a little kid, I had no fucking idea why they were doing that.
Now you know.
Now
you're an adult and everything is much less fun. So now you know.
Correct. Yeah, I was like, this must be some adult thing I don't get. And it's like, oh no, they just waited until the week of the Super Bowl to fill in the teams.
Even the newspaper, man. If you got like a small town newspaper, y'all running like Monday and Friday, it's like, man, y'all got any ideas for Friday that don't look stupid on Saturday? Y'all got anything? I got
There's nothing, especially like coming up as like I wrote for those papers in high school. I was a journalism major in college. There was nothing I wanted to do more than stop the presses.
Yeah. I was again in rewatching The Last Dance. It was one of the things they showed. It was like when he came back, the newspapers, we literally had to stop and restart the presses. It's
like when you go into a place that has giant like press, like any newspaper, it's like putting fucking raw meat like just outside the lion's cage. They're like, here's this big, the best, like you could tell like the push this button gives. They don't make buttons like that. And they're like, you have no idea how much money and time it costs us if we ever have to press this fucking button. They're like, it's like the president has to get shot. Like you, that's the only way.
Like, hey, now when y'all say shot, y'all mean y'all talking like Reagan shot, or y'all talking like JFK shot? Because I'll push it.
Yeah,
but I need to be sure.
It has to be. So stop the presses, bang. Everyone's like, this is news. I need to hear the news now, not a second more.
Yeah. See, it's like a wet paint sign, but if the paint also tastes like barbecue sauce, so like not only do you have to touch it. No, it's probably still paint, but what is that, hickory? That's delicious.
Oh man, and that's just something like. That's something internet publication just simply cannot replicate. It's not like, delete this half draft of a bullshit blog. Like that, who cares?
Hit stop the publish done. Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Like was it Taft? Who was the president who like won, but the headlines said that he lost?
Oh, Dewey defeats Truman.
Yeah. Like that. I feel like someone came in, they were like, stop that. They're like, no one cares. Just let the presses run. We'll fix this later.
That was Truman that came in there. He was like, listen, as president, I want y'all to run these goddamn presses all night. I want 1 million Dewey defeats Truman. I want him on the doorstep of every American when I wake up tomorrow as president. Thank you. What a flex. That's one of the best pictures in history to me. Just holding up. I lost in the presidency.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, somebody told a lie one day.
Yeah. News to me.
Yeah.
Why are they hating on the
Did
kid?
He smack the newspaper like
that? Yeah. Better times, maybe, for some. Modern times. I've heard a lot of people, whites, say this the past few days. This is the first time.
Mark Wahlberg was right. Oh,
no. We'll get to Wahlberg. Shade Room Withers over here. We'll get to Wahlberg.
Hey, listen, that's twice, baby. I'm heating up.
I'm shocked that's only 2.
That's 2 that I know of. I'll say that.
You would have known about the others.
No, I don't. I'm relatively new to Instagram though.
Oh, I figured people would have just told you, I like screenshot to Twitter. The screenshot of the screenshot back.
That's why when I was like, what was this on? Like 4chan? Like, I don't know. It's so filtered. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 2019, I took off. 2020, I think I'm coming back.
Yeah. Big 4chan withers, everyone knows.
8chan truly, yeah. There's nothing. I go at recipes. That's all I get on there. I don't know what everybody else is looking at.
Yeah, no, incredible cobbler. I happen to
find. Oh God, BlackBerry in the summer.
But I've heard a lot of whites being like, I didn't know this was happening. And I guess in like 1940, that could probably fly again when there were presses involved in getting your news. Like, we've been way too online for a decade now. I'll give it a decade. It's longer, but like everyone super online for a decade now. And like, it's not even that things like George Floyd, they've made headlines before, you understand.
Sure.
Colin Kaepernick wasn't just like, fuck this song. Like, this was a thing.
Listen, even though he would have been well within his rights, this
for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you mean it's just now coming to light? Like, that's like, I'm glad they're at least coming to the light. And I'm glad they're here now.
Sure.
But I hope people realize
2020 years into the game.
I hope people realize that statement comes from an extreme place of privilege to just be like, yep, no idea.
That's the entire point of it. There was a book we had to read in high school. I think I have it, and I want to read it as an adult. And it refers to privilege. It's called The Invisible Backpack, because it's full of tools that only the person that has it can use, and everybody can see it but them. People are now realizing they have that backpack. It's not a bad thing to have it, but you have it. And to not acknowledge that you have it is delusion. So I hope people are seeing that, or at least seeing, like, I didn't realize it was on every level. Like, boy, oh boy. Well, because anytime before it'd be like, well, what was, I mean, they shot him in the back, but what was he doing running from the cop? He was scared for his life. Like, what?
Right.
It was anything. I mean, they still do it with George Floyd. They'll do it with every single person. Anything you've ever done. But even it's just going more to that, because I think people are seeing like, well, this is all over an arrest. Why don't they just arrest him? Right? Like, even if it doesn't come to the conclusion most people want, you won't get there without an arrest, or like you have to start that process somewhere. And so I don't know if people are seeing that and realizing it's fucked up everywhere. Like, they starting to show these charts, like how much money the police getting constrict. This is one of those things where it's like people, and again, I like to call myself pretty hip. You know what I mean?
Not the word I would use, but go on.
I bet you wouldn't, Wahlberg. No, but one of those where it's like, no, they get more than like transportation, education, hospitals, mental health, like all that combined.
Yeah.
Combined. And it's like, there is proof that if you take some of that money and put into the other ones, you won't need as much police.
No, sure won't.
But people are like, I'm going the other way. Take a little more from education to go to police.
That's the one where it's hard for, and I'm sure there are people arguing it, but like,
it's the internet, Mick. What do you need school for?
Education's so little on all of. I haven't seen a single city where it's like, yeah, no, they're neck and neck. Like, no.
Yeah, it's like arts and rec at the community center and education neck and neck. Yeah, but prisons booming, big booming.
That have been for centuries now. I was reading something that was like the NYPD doesn't even have like a budget on record. Like, no one knows exactly how much money they have. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I understand it's a large, one of the larger police.
A lot of zeros. I get it.
But what the fuck? Like, what are you?
And that's one of those, like, yeah, people see that for NYPD, and then they'll see it for other non-New York cities. Then they'll see it for like their own city and state.
Yeah.
And every single time, I don't see how you can look at that and be like, all of this? Do they need all of it? Like, if all these other things were fine, right? Like, okay, put a little more to it. They need the best, I don't know, whatever Dak wants to buy them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But no, everything else, like, no, let's take a little bit more from mental health. So when a person has a mental health episode, the police are called and a person ends up shot dead. It was like he's charging at the cop. Well, he was schizophrenic. Like, what do you mean? Right. You can't apply that. But people do.
And it's like, would there be, I've always thought if we didn't charge like drug users, any drug, as criminals and actually got them the help they needed, would there be that problem? Would there be that many homeless people because of their drug addiction? And I understand it's a different battle for every single person. However, I know what the wrong answer is, and it's the one we keep going to time after time after time.
You're right. Let's take a little more money from the drug addiction and get into the police. We got to beat those addicts clean. That's the only way. You punish them. That's how everyone knows that's how you break addiction. You punish it.
Is it too early, at least for this country, to name coronavirus the 20? And I say this with no disrespect to people who have lost loved ones. However, is it too early to name coronavirus 2020 MVP if we're going to see these kind of grand changes, all because we have a little bit more time on our hands to actually do some learning? Because even like the police budget stuff, like I'm not one of these people who like just figured out racism. You know what I mean? Like I've seen
for several days now.
Yeah, 2 weeks minimum. But like the police budget shit, like I knew they had big budgets. I didn't know it was like costing every city in the country like grand resources.
Literally everybody, and that's where it's like you can't even say it's bigger in Chicago. I like to say Chicago, so. Like, no, in every single, in New Haven, Connecticut, the police are still probably getting 6 times. Like, that's just how this goes. And it's like, boy, oh boy, you're going to catch a lot of what you're looking for. And again, if you get to what you're looking for, why those people are doing it, and put more money into that. So it's like, oh, maybe if we put a lot more money in education and things, they're not stealing because they're underemployed, because they're undereducated, because the racism starts from the time you're born, but about like first grade or so, for the most part.
Yeah, those budgets are appalling. Appalling.
I think it was somebody from overseas. This is one of the times ever I've enjoyed people's tweets from overseas.
Yeah.
They were like, imagine if you called the firefighters, put out a fire, and they just show up and start whooping your ass. Like, I was like, it's like they don't put out the fire at all. They just start beating people up.
They don't like larger, like, no, that's not enough fire. Yeah.
They set your neighbor's house on fire too. And then they lie, but no, the house set itself on fire, man.
Yeah, no.
And every single officer there, every single firefighter there is like, no, it definitely set itself on fire. We didn't see a thing. Mm-mm. And it's like, man, when firefighters aren't fighting fire, it's like they're EMTs.
Yeah.
Like they're doing other stuff. And it's like if the police didn't have to respond to mental health and getting cats out of trees and basically whatever else, then you can put that money elsewhere and still have room to protect whatever crimes that will still exist.
Now, a lot of people are calling to defund the police, and it's already being hijacked by reform the police, and we just got to keep pushing the other way.
Listen, y'all better be talking about some fucking Sting if y'all talking about reforming the police, like getting the band back together. Because there's no like, it's like I think we can reform Hitler's work with the Nazi Party. Like the points were made, and slowly but surely over time, we can see if we can get him to be a little bit more understanding. No, you got to get that shit all the way out of here. It's just proven to not work.
And I saw someone else doing a thread that was like, that's a start, but if you only stop there, it's kind of not hollow, but it's not doing the full job since it is structural top to bottom, like the whole judicial system, top to bottom.
Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Yeah, politicians, like everything needs to be reforms wrong, but it just needs to be burnt down and built back up.
Yeah, it starts with Nancy Pelosi wearing her finest kente cloth. And again, that's how you know, like that's the side of people. It's like they just don't get it. Like they just don't.
That was one of the things I saw.
Don't care to, yeah.
And Twitter, especially this year, has been throwing that kind of garb on from Tom and Jerry, everyone in the world. Homer Simpson.
Garb, they finna get you out of here.
Is garb problematic?
No. Oh yeah, you're done.
And I was just I thought it was photo. I was like, there's no way this is happening in the real world.
I tell you, the best thing I saw was Minneapolis getting Mayor Pete out of there.
Oh my God.
That's one of the best things I think I've ever seen in my life.
Ben Wyatt. Like, what? What are they doing with this?
Hey, we're in Icetown City. It's like Minneapolis is a big city. How did this man how did this small child in a suit and tie
he was doing the Cupid shuffle 1 second and they were getting him the fuck out of there the next.
He was like, yeah, this is great. Slide to the left. Yeah, no, Mayor Pete's having a lot of fun. And whew, God bless that young lady who made him answer that question.
Because he was applying pressure.
Yeah. Like, and honest to God, that it seems extreme, but that's how it needs. Like, you have to get people to, they're too good at giving these flip-flopping answers.
Yeah.
At the very least, like, however you feel, stand on it. Because when it comes time to vote or make a law, it ain't no, well, I'm just, no, you voting yes or no.
Correct.
So you with this or against this. And if you're against it, wins a re-election in how many months? Bet.
Yeah.
And they made him walk the plank. Walk the damn plank, Mick.
I think it was New York again. Just voted to make it was either New York or Minnesota voted to make the chokehold illegal, which it definitely already was. And the final vote was like 145-3. Like those three got to be on the record. Like we can't be like it could have been any three. No. We need to know the three. So we're like, choking them probably is still okay.
Listen, those are the three bad apples, Mick. That was why they made those people vote. It was just those three. And everyone, just because one bad hamburger does not make a bad McDonald's. Boo!
Like that's a video I didn't care if it was real because it seems way too good to be true. I was like, this is funny regardless. I'm smashing retweet.
Not like I think my favorite thing with the Mayor Pete, like the first thing I saw was him making like the walk of shame. So I was like, I need to know what led up to this.
Yeah.
Like I saw the end of the movie first. Like I don't even care if I know the plot. Like, yeah, no, he was the father all along. I get it. I need to see how we got here.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy. Him just speaking through that mask, he could not look any less like a leader.
No, he sure couldn't. Brad Stevens, one-on-one against LeBron. He's just like, this is not the job I signed up for.
Boy, oh boy. He said no, and they had a chant ready. And as he walking out, there's people giving him the finger, man.
Yeah.
I think about that picture of the dog walking by. People just giving the dog the finger. And they did it to a mayor.
Yeah, that was.
I had no idea Minneapolis was this real. No idea. Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, listen, Prince was there like that. Minneapolis they've just been quiet about it. And now they're being super loud about it.
Listen, like, yeah, let's try him. He don't have no hands. Nope. Oh, no, he was a black belt. He was a black belt all along.
Yeah, that was one of the better tweets I've seen this last week. It was just some young lady who was like, I'm sorry to Minnesota. All this time I thought y'all were just cows and cheese. I didn't know you're all this real.
Hey, that's something, again, people are starting to normalize saying I was wrong. I was wrong about Minneapolis, Minnesota.
With the shits.
Absolutely. Mayor Pete, I don't even know where does he go from now?
I mean, I saw reports like the day after he got thoroughly, like that was every like comedian who got like Sandmaned off the stage at the Apollo was like, man, I'd rather do that 1,000 more times than what he's doing right now. That was terrible.
Yeah, like I get to try it again tomorrow night. Like he's just, and if not, listen, we go from Detroit to Chicago, right? Like I'll get him somewhere.
Yeah.
He just goes from different cities, just trying to be mayor. Remember me? Yeah, boo, boo.
It was just what a thorough booing. The whole city was booing that man.
Prince would have been proud.
Very proud. I do believe like the day after, though, they had begun the steps to defund the Minneapolis Police Department. So it's like, why don't you just say yes in the moment, save yourself such a thorough, but like figure it out after the fact.
That's one of those getting proposed to in public, man. You're supposed to say no and embarrass them, or say yes, then break their heart later.
Listen, one of them saves you like thousands of people booing you.
I was gonna say one of them's not viral forever.
Yeah, he lies there. Everyone's like, "Yay!" And he's like, "I'm not doing that shit. What are they, stupid like that? That's how politicians work. Get with the program."
Like, I also don't know if he's in a profession where he gets booed enough to just shake off a booing.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, nobody likes to be booed, but LeBron will hear it in Cleveland.
Yeah,
he's in Detroit the next. Like, it rolls off his shoulders.
Yeah,
he doesn't like every time somebody gets booed. He's like, oof. It takes me back to Miami versus Charlotte. They gave me a vicious booing. He gonna hear a boo and be like, man, they got me out of there. I thought I had it figured out. I was a mayor at 17, and there I was getting booed and told to leave my own city.
Yeah, this is also another classic example because, well, we've even given credit to the youth on this show 2 episodes ago. But some young people are still stupid as fucking on the wrong side too. Like youth doesn't make everyone like on the right side just because we're young. This guy's 14 years old. Him and Jason Tatum were classmates. Here he is getting booed for just like wildly the wrong. How are you that disappointing in front of that many people?
Well, I get that. It's one of those things. Like if people, and not even just shaming, like if people had seen his foot put to the fire like this before, he never gets that far.
No. And
that's exactly why they don't have people like it's somebody like that young lady in every single city, and they need to run every like city hall meeting because they're gonna get the questions answered. There ain't gonna be no flip-flop, and we're gonna know exactly how you stand.
But even those city hall meetings, it's like, here's your microphone. You can ask your question, then we take the microphone. So, but if this was like, now we're in the street, I've got a megaphone, I'm physically above you.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like we can do it on whoever's home court, but I'm just saying she's gonna be the moderator. She's gonna have the mic and a button like Tony Reality. Like if you talking that bullshit or you trying to dance around the question, you muted.
2 points. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like this is the thing, because people like the politicians talk sweet and then do nothing to help the people that they told they were gonna help. So that's fine. But now it's just the point, yes or no. You ain't dancing around this. And if it's no, we know what we need to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know when Bernie was running, he was pushing for like debates are simply too short. It's always like you get your 90 seconds of pre-written like talking points to hit with depth to them. Over in, I believe it's England, it's like you get 90 minutes, no commercials, no nothing, to just talk everything you've got, like empty the chamber, uninterrupted, you just talk. And he was like, I don't know why we do it here. It's like you don't get to know these people at all.
Capitalism. You gotta sell commercials over there. They're probably like, yeah.
Listen, you can put 1 million fucking commercials on the screen while someone talks.
Yeah, Bernie he could wear a fucking Bojangles tie, dog. Like I don't even care. Oh yeah, over in England, they're like, no, this can wait. Yeah, everybody got a canned bit. Everybody's trying to get like their line in, their pre-written line. Nobody applying to the pressure because there's no pressure. And to the moderators' credit, they try to do it sometimes, but they're so they're just so so staged that everybody's just trying to get their
half
line.
the time too.
Yeah. So that's why I voted for John Kasich. So I say that to say that. Yeah.
We know Ernie. something else. Well, many things happened recently. I don't know if you guys have seen this. The fuck was it? Oh, did you see the video Top Shelf Tyson shared of that one dude just frying the short cup?
Yeah.
Just roasting them. I was like, this is the most restraint I've seen police use throughout any of this. Like, why are you just letting this man? He's like, it's not even like just chirping him. He's like, I will beat the fuck out of you.
Just taking
he
it.
Pulls out his stick and he's like, "Oh, nice stick, pussy."
Yeah, nice stick, sticky. That's one of those things. Like, man, oh man, they like you get away with a lot of that just off the fear, off the intimidation, and when the people are fucking sick of it and they're not afraid anymore, that's what happened. And then you lose that edge, and it go back to boy, oh boy. It's just one of those. Like, I don't know how often police officers have to like re-qualify. Like, I know you have to pass like the tests, to get out of the academy.
Yeah.
But do you have to do it every 6 months? Like and that, I don't know. Feels
more like college teachers. Like once you're in, you
get a little tenure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, maybe that, I don't know. They got enough money to figure it out in police funding. So
you would think.
They got enough fun, and cars and fits be trash, but we won't talk about that. All that money in there, y'all looking like that. How you messed up double blue?
Yeah, Navy on Navy. It's too clean for them to be punting like that.
Boy, oh boy, cars stink. They blew the bag. It is what it is.
The thing I was thinking of is I haven't heard anything about whoever took the initial video of George Floyd, because was it Eric Garner? Was he the one selling Lucy's in New York?
Mm-hmm.
They fucked with the dude who took and posted that.
Ramsey Ortega, I think. Like, they made that man's life live in hell. Yeah.
Just got out of prison. The only reason he was in prison in the first place is because they planted guns and drugs on him. And the only reason he didn't fight it is because they also arrested his mother. And their plea was, hey, we'll let your mother go if you do time. And by time, we mean we're going to feed you rat poison and try and starve you to death. And he's just now getting out. Eric Garner was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, man. It was a thing, like a good bit of those, the activists from Ferguson that were just coming up missing left and right. Like, I can't, what's my man's name? Like with the iconic photo. Yeah. I know he died. I feel like every couple years or every couple months something pops up. It's like, remember so-and-so from this big photo activist in Ferguson? Found him dead. Somehow they, ran off a cliff, but were also shot 6 times. Bizarre. Been ruled an accident. So, and it's another thing with it's so many great videos of protesters that I want to share. And it's like, you just don't know, man.
Right.
Because they're absolutely like identifying people by whatever they can.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is.
Oh boy. Cool drone, KD. That's tough. And then he did that undefeated article or interview like right after. It was like, no, see that. It wasn't addressed in that, or I'll say that much. It didn't come up. The article was edited for clarity, so maybe it was lost in the shuffle. But if they was stuff about his game was getting to him, people gonna start chirping him about this. Oh God.
I don't know, because I haven't seen it. Like we talk about it, but it's one of those things. Like I don't know if the rest of the world's giving him enough grief for it.
No, but I feel like that's the thing. It only takes one. It only takes him responding to one person about it, and then it blows up, and people are like, "Did y'all know that Kevin Durant was investing in drones?"
It's like, yeah, they're fun for the whole family, not those kind of drones.
Yeah, no. By fun, we mean government surveillance.
The fun is still fun.
Yeah, that's a tough scene.
So yeah, whoever took that and posted that video of George Floyd, I haven't heard anything. I don't even know how to search for it, like how, and I don't want to. I hope no news is good news. Yeah, But it's what made me think of that. I was like, well, if they did it back then, why wouldn't they do the same now?
Absolutely.
They're getting these statues the fuck out of here.
Oh man. I don't know, was it Google Maps or whatever? Did you see that they updated the location of the statue?
No, in the river?
Yeah, like it's like you search for the whatever Edward Fuckington statue. It was like the dot was like in the middle of a river and it was like permanently closed. I was like, that's rich. That's delicious.
It is strong. That's very strong.
So you know how mad you got to be to roll over a statue, to push a statue down and roll it. I thought like when it was going up, I was like, the edge is gonna flip over and like knock somebody out cold, man. That's got to be a couple tons. Statue's not light, I don't think.
Real heavy statue.
So they not heavy enough, it would appear.
Listen, there's nothing like a good statue toppling.
Somebody said it's like we got to replace them all with statues of the dunk contest winners.
Yeah.
You got your first vote here. Nothing would make better statues.
Commission whoever made the Shaq one outside of Staples to take care of all of them, because that man knows the statue. Yeah.
Just had to be like, boy, oh boy, there's John Wall spinning the wheel before his dunk title dunk contest champion.
That one is interactive. You can also spin the wheel.
I'm just like, yeah.
For some reason, that's the first one that goes up. We're like, maybe this is a bad idea.
And I'm like, I love it.
Sorry, Blake Griffin.
No. Kia didn't pay for the sponsorship, so
you can park your own car under him for the photo op.
Jordan needs an entire park of them. That guy's got ridiculous dunk contest photos. He should just him and Dominique should just be like the default. Like you don't have a state team. North Dakota, who's the default? Y'all Eastern Conference, you get Dominique, one flip a coin, you get Jordan. That's just the default statue.
Yeah.
Or like Phil Jackson, he from one of the Dakotas. They like that.
If he's not from there, he's definitely spent a lot of time there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. We'd have D. Brown and Gerald Green.
Oh man, Nate Robb would have a couple good ones. Birdman Anderson. They could be a good why can't statues commemorate like more funny things? like every
This is where we booed the fuck out of our mayor.
Yeah, like 100%. If it was just like a million pointing fingers and like a small duck in a shirt and tie just walking away. See, that's funny. Isn't that much more fun than like an old slave owner?
For sure. Unquestionably.
So yeah, why they're either that or it's like, no, look at that guy, look at the sick picture. The horse is on one foot, which means he died immediately after this photo was taken. Yeah. It's like, damn, that's a sad statue. Why can't it be a good, funny statue? That's my pitch.
We were early to getting racist statues the fuck out of here with that chicken Philly.
Which one?
The singing, the one who just sang all the old racist songs.
Oh, that old bag. Yeah.
we were early on that one.
Forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
It's literally so much racism it escapes my mind. Except for one.
Just one racism?
Yeah, just that one day Mark Wahlberg had in 88 where he threw a no-hit game, scored 42 points for the Celtics.
There were hits.
Oh. They scored 42 for the Celtics and went on to catch 3 touchdowns for the Patriots. He had that kind of day of racism.
Don't lump the Celtics in with this. They did nothing.
They did nothing to stop it. No.
The Celtics are firmly a Donnie Wahlberg organization.
Mark had a funky bunch with him. I'll just say that when he was out on the.
Yeah, the only reason. Do you know why that story is public?
Because he tried to get it squashed, right?
No, so he he tried to open a Wahlburgers, and I believe Oregon.
That's what, like a permit or something.
Yeah, and if you've been arrested for anything, you have to go to court in Oregon and explain what happened, and then they'll decide whether or not you're like a good enough person to open your fast food burger chain there.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And yeah, he, instead of being like, you know what, maybe we don't need a franchise in Oregon, he was like, no, the people of Oregon need these burgers. So he went, he explained it, and
so we're square, right? Well, when do we cut the tape?
Like, how I understand he's been in Hollywood forever, pretty much like the day after he did that, he's been famous.
Took him to the top.
So I get he's like lost all touch with like reality.
He's been like times 12.
How on earth are you just like, yeah, no, this won't hurt? And it hasn't hurt his career at all.
I think that's exactly how you think. It's like, listen, no one else has ever cared. I'll explain this. I'll sign a few autographs, kiss my bicep a little bit, and yeah, we'll be breaking ground next Thursday. It didn't turn out that way. No.
But yeah, him having a whole what's the name of the section on Wikipedia?
Well, they changed it. It was changed multiple times yesterday, which is very funny. Let me see. Yeah, look up what it is now. I think it's just in like I don't even know, fisticuffs or something, like just something very bad. Yeah. Donnie Brooks. Let's see.
Hate crimes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the old one.
No, it's still hate crimes.
Oh yeah. All right. It must have been changed back because it was hate crimes. Then it was racial incidents. Then it was somebody put it into like early life or whatever. So you had to click early life to see that. It wasn't its own tab anymore. So yeah, I don't know what the latest. Maybe they put it back.
I didn't even know the first one.
Which one? The
chasing 3 black children.
Oh yeah. Listen, that's what happens when you have a whole section. It's easy to get your number of hate crimes confused.
Yeah, otherwise this would just be Vietnamese encounters.
Yeah, and no one's got any problem with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he blinded this one dude.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know he was high on. Yes, I didn't know he was high on PCP.
Yeah, all right. That's what we all do on PCP. We go blind the Vietnamese and beat them with sticks.
Who among us?
Yeah, well, I had a bad trip. Is that a crime? Yes.
One of the black children attacked by Wahlberg opposed the pardon, saying a racist will always be a racist. Good for him.
Yeah, that boy. I knew it was coming, but under that tweet, it was a lot of so. He was 16, bro. I don't give a fuck how old you was when you were 16. Yeah, like what? Dad, what kind of skeletons you got in your closet, man? To be like, hey, man, this was. I got that, and the number 2, which kind of surprised me. Oh, we're taking Wikipedia as a credible source now. I was like, listen, if you want to get the numbers at the end linked to the real articles, if you want to play that game, like it's
right.
I thought we all just kind of agreed that Wikipedia is like for compiling. Nobody's going to go to it for research, but this is not the time to play.
Yeah, we're not fucking high school junior like history teachers that need.
We're not trying to say like he was born with one nut or something, like something nobody can confirm.
Right.
That's on Wikipedia. Who knows? No, this is very public record.
And this is the thing, like Wikipedia, anyone can edit. That's true. But this also isn't like 2003 Wikipedia where you edit it and then it stays there for a month before they get to it. Like it gets changed back pretty quick.
Yeah, no.
All those screenshots you see after like someone wins the Super Bowl and they're like, haha, they're now the governor of this city. Like those get changed back fucking immediately. Yeah. Immediately. So like what? Like people acting like that are insane. I don't know.
It's missing the forest for the trees, man, because the response to he has a section called hate crimes. It's like, hey. I didn't say he didn't do the hate crimes, but you're going to believe that guy who saw all the hate crimes? You're going to believe him? Wow. Yeah,
also, like, what does defending Mark Wahlberg's hate crimes do for you? Like, you enjoy his movies, so you want to, like, so, I don't understand, like, why someone would want to defend that.
It's more, I've seen more boots licked these past couple of weeks I've ever seen in my life. And it's a great term.
It is great.
You see the article Tom Cotton wrote? I can't remember what
someone quote tweeted because Barry Weiss, who's an editor or someone who works at the New York, high up at the New York Times, went on a thread like the day after it ran, and was like, and maybe we've been having a lot of internal discussions about freedom of press and what we should and shouldn't write, and someone, like, she was just like so close to the point, and someone quote tweeted it, and it was just a tremendous insult. And they just said it's like watching a light bulb turn on in slow motion. Like, I was just picturing flicking the light, and it's just like, all right.
Like an old filament, so you got to wait to see it. Like you like climb through the loops, like in the G's.
Coil, yeah.
No, that's good.
But yeah, Tom, anytime your little op-ed is immediately like, well, yeah, of course they ran Hitler's too. Like, that's tough. Like, you can't.
Again, that's where we're at right now. Like, the response is not to what he was saying. It's like, well, hey, they've given worse people a platform. And it's like, let me stop you right there, because that's exactly what we're trying to prevent. They put like by Hitler like 6 times.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want there to be any confusion. And yeah, somebody photoshopped over the Tom Cotton when it was like, send in the boots so that I may lick them. My country needs me and my tongue is ready.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen his app before saying just extremely dumb shit, but I still don't really know who he is. Is he someone in Texas?
I think I don't know, senator or something. I don't know.
That's what I mean, like governor or some shit.
His name Tom Cotton, senator, yeah. Tom Cotton.
Yeah, I saw people roasting his name
from Arkansas. Like, oh Lord!
They were like, "This was the most believable name the simulation could spit out without us just immediately laughing him out of here."
Ducks and Bobnut. Lee McDykel and the crew. Oh man. But yeah, man, you see they trying to trade Clay for Giannis?
Well, where do you stand? Do you break up the Splash Brothers, or do you just go get maybe the best player in the league, Tyler?
I mean, they've already got Draymond Green, so
it's true.
Listen, I love Clay, have all my life, and will love him for all my life. If Giannis says he's signing on the dotted line, man, oh man, I hate it. But as I drive him to the airport, we can have one last good talk as friends.
It feels
like Milwaukee.
It feels like getting rid of like the family dog. Like, that's Clay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to do it, but listen, hospital bills too much.
Well, no, it's not even that. I feel like it's like, listen, we're getting rid of the family dog. Oh, come on, because it's not compatible with the new Lamborghini we got. But everybody's like, hey, I mean, the dog's got to go. You know what I mean? Like, I love Rover too. But this thing goes 0 to 60 and like that, dude. Like, I'll walk him. So yes, Rover, he'll find a good home. Milwaukee's a fine. We'll get him to a nice place. But we're gonna take the Lamborghini. Yes.
You talk about the downgrade in weed Klay Thompson's about to experience.
Ooh. You think it makes his game better or worse?
Much worse. He's gonna be so depressed.
Somebody gotta have Bledsoe or something. Gotta have some gas for him. Like somebody, they too close to Chicago to have. Yeah.
But still, it just won't be the same as like living in California.
Oh yeah, no, he'll go to the corner store and it's like, yeah, no, I'll take a couple pre-rolls. And they're like, you're not gonna go state anymore, Clay. It's actually a crime. I'm not going to report you, but it's literally
arrested. Yeah,
it's literally a crime what you just did.
Luckily, the good police of Milwaukee treat the Bucks with the utmost respect historically.
Yeah, no, nothing but the best by the boys.
This is that time of the year though where it's like, yeah, of course you trade him, and then when the actual trade happens, it's like, no, of course I didn't have to put Clay on there. No one else could match all the other bullshit pieces they were throwing out there.
Yeah, it's like, boy, Wiggins wasn't enough. What's next? Clay. I am kind of surprised we skipped the whole Draymond thing. I thought this was gonna be like a process. Next is gonna be like, would you do Steph for Giannis?
Probably.
Oof.
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I bet not.
Obviously, but it's like it's the same logic behind Clay. You're keeping one of like Giannis can run point, and you're keeping one of the second best shooter in the league with him. Like
he can't shoot threes, Mick.
Giannis, I've seen him do it.
No, not once have you seen him do it.
Yeah, I mean they want to trade like the garbage souffle of like Draymond, Andrew Wiggins, and whatever this pick happens to be, and Milwaukee,
and also the Minnesota pick.
True.
From next year.
Milwaukee rightfully should tell them to fuck themselves and ask for, because like Bledsoe, Clay, Middleton, there's something in the East. It's certainly something.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of those like, hey, it stinks we lost our guy, but no, we've. Like the Raptors, like, hey, man, yeah, he left. We still have every intention on winning 50 games and trying to win a championship.
Now, is Giannis a Ewing theory candidate?
Oh, boy, house. Oh, no.
Why my house?
You want to be Bill Simmons?
No. Everyone knows I'm clearly Russillo.
I'm just saying. This is why I voted for Reagan. No, I couldn't do Steph for Giannis. I couldn't do it.
Well, like we know they don't have to.
Do we?
I mean, fucking Kawhi got traded for Jakob Poeltl.
Well, I mean, again, if it comes down to, hey, and DeMar DeRozan, have some respect.
Sure. Shorter LaMarcus Aldridge, yes, they got him too.
Hey, listen, that guy can dunk, man, huh? That guy would dunk.
Famous dunk was a miss. Like,
hey,
I don't know why I like DeMar DeRozan. I don't know why I'm doing it.
Yeah, why are you shitting on? What are you doing? Yeah, he's a big dumb pee head too.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out him and Russ being out at the protest this weekend.
Yeah, and then you just took a shit on his head like that.
Yeah. And I just want to let him know I'm applying the pressure.
Yeah, that's one of those. If it's like, okay, if it's Clay or nothing, okay, yeah, we're. I got to open you up to the highest bidder, my guy. But that appears to just not be the way things go. If you have one team in mind, that's just how it goes. And they still those are the only teams that get hauls for a superstar. Like that's it. Everybody else gets raped.
Would they trade Giannis to the East, or keep him in the East rather?
I mean, like if it's the best offer, if it's like we're losing him, we're gonna have to go through him to win a championship. If he's in the West or the East, we'd prefer, to move him out West. But yeah, if somebody's offering, like who you think, like Toronto?
Well, Toronto and us, obviously.
What would you give up for him?
It's one of those things where it's like that's 25-year-old, like it's the same obstacle we've had with LeBron in the East, and he's right fucking there, just in a different Midwest town. Like, boy, what the fuck? Like, how did this happen? Mm-hmm. So it's like one of those things where if they're seriously offering it, and he's like, yeah, I'll resign. It's whoever the fuck.
So you do Tatum and Tatum and Smart.
You'd have to. You would just have to.
They're gonna yell at you, Mick.
Listen, I'm fine with it. If they fucking listened to me in the first place, we wouldn't even have this discussion. It'd be like, I can't believe Giannis won his third straight title with the Celtics. Wow, that would have already happened.
But alas,
yeah, they didn't want to listen to me.
That's interesting. If they want to take him in Brown, would you do? Is that too much?
You already got guess what's smart. You gonna make me do this now?
No, he keeps Smart. But if they say they want Tatum, Brown, and a pick for Giannis, and Giannis is willing to re-sign,
you'd have to.
Woo! This guy ain't even been to the finals, Mick.
No, he sure hasn't.
Neither
of the others.
And you giving them up? You down?
And people are gonna be like, "You wouldn't do this for Kawhi. You'd do this for this." Like, yes, because this. I'm saying, if it's like for a 1 year rental, of course not. All that stops. But if he's re-signing 5 years full, yeah, of course. I trust Danny Ainge to do whatever with that.
Would you, for a 1 year rental, would you do Jalen?
No. Jalen dunks on him every time they play. Like, well, they're basically the same when we really look at it.
And that's why Milwaukee's like, yeah, no, give us him. Yeah, we want him.
No, for 1 year rental, no.
That's fair.
They can get Hayward.
Tatum, Giannis, Kimba's a tough three, though.
Real tough. Someone tried to tweet at me after our last episode and do like the player A, player B, but I already knew both players when they tweeted it at me. They were like, what player would you take? And it was just like all context lists, would you believe? Shooting percentages and what have you. And I was like, in no world am I taking Gordon Hayward over Kemba Walker. Like, you insane? Is that you an insane person? No one in the world thinks. Gordon Hayward doesn't
40-90 almost shooting, right?
Right. Getting covered by the other team's fourth best defender with wide open looks. Yeah. And Kemba gets the other team's second best defender always, and is shooting primarily, creating for himself. Like, yeah, no, this isn't the same conversation. Like, what are we talking about?
You would do Kemba for a Giannis rental?
Yeah.
You'd have to do that, right?
For sure, without question.
Yeah.
Because that'd actually be interesting too, because that wouldn't, because remember I was explaining like they're kind of forced into re-signing Hayward just based on how everything is. Mm-hmm. If they were able to get, and I like Kemba, I'm not trying to trade him, but if they were able to get his money off the books and then fully off the books with Giannis leaving, then they wouldn't have to re-sign him, and then you're really just only looking at paying Jalen and Tatum. So there'd still be some money there. So that'd actually be interesting.
44 and 38
for a year, and then they'd have like max room next year when everyone's available.
And Danny Ainge can punt it all the way again.
Yeah, that Ainge never wanted to make a move.
P.U. Horford, P.U. Hayward, P.U. Irving, P.U. I don't know why this guy keeps getting country.
But yeah, are you kidding me? It was just like, yeah, you get Kemba and Hayward in Milwaukee for some reason. You guys, that's a solid 4 you can trot out. And yeah, you just drop Giannis for a year with those two. I don't know why he'd leave that situation, but yeah, for some reason he did. Yeah.
We don't know why Kawhi would leave the Raptors, man, until Uncle Dennis was giving some stock options. I like it.
Trust me, we could take 34 down out of the rafters and give it to Giannis if that's the straw that's breaking the camel's back.
That's just how it should be, man. It should. I don't know how it turned from talking about the Hornets and how Michael Jordan's a bad owner into abolishing the draft somehow. I don't know. I don't know how we got there.
Abolish is hot on people's tongues.
Maybe that's what it was. And I don't. People are still. It's like. Yeah, but could you imagine Cleveland if they didn't get Kyrie and these teams? Like, yes, I could imagine incompetent teams not being rewarded. I would like that. And the guy was like, if there's no draft, Atlanta would he's like, Atlanta would never get players. I'm like, it ain't going too hot for us now, my guy. Like, I don't and even if it was, like, I don't know what people think it's just gonna be 12 all-stars in LA.
Right, yeah, there's only so many roster spots.
Yeah, it's only so many roster spots. It's only so many LAs, Miamis, New York. Like, we're in a place right now that with the league, I feel like that would be the answer, so you wouldn't have to contract any franchises. Like, if you just reshuffle the talent like that, like, you would get a couple your stars would team up in the bigger cities or whatever.
For sure.
But they're so like from 1 to like I would say 100. There's just so many solid players. So even if you are a Memphis, Indiana, whatever, it's like, okay, well, if we just get all our pick of players 30 on, we'll still make a good team.
Right. And I think when people talk about this, they like the Lakers, like, is Zion going to the Lakers off top? Probably not.
Right. I mean, if he's, it depends on what he wants, right? So it's like, would he, for money purposes, for sake of his brand or whatever? Maybe, but probably not.
Well, it's like, if you look at it, why wouldn't he have just gone to Miami? Because you could have all that branding potential in a big city and a young team that isn't like overshadowed by other stars. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe it is him and RJ Barrett like linking up somewhere together.
Yeah,
something like that.
But
I think it just opens up a whole bunch of like super interesting ways to go about building a roster. It's like, hey man, we don't have the LeBron AD team up power like LA can have. We don't have even the second LA team with Kawhi and Paul George. But man, oh man, do we kill? We have 7 players ranked 31st through 49th, and they're all 7th year guys like ready to go. Like that's terrifying.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be a couple teams that can't compete, but like the same way we have a couple teams that can't compete now because they all stink. How the Knicks' big market hasn't helped. How Chicago's the 3rd biggest market, and they've stunk for years. So
it's like outside of one player in the history of basketball.
boy, oh boy, and it took 2 teams passing. Luck. You talk about luck, but like, okay, is that a bad thing? I would love to have a couple big stars in Chicago. Like Chicago seemed amazing, like when Jordan and Pippen was cooking. Yeah. Like, why would it be a bad thing if AD, like if guys just started going to either where they're from, linking up with those guys, if all the Kentucky guys are like, we're just going somewhere, like we're a package deal. There's like, I'm trying to find the list of like the 75 players, like the ones they just did, like current players. And it's like, if you were just like, even if you just get like enough of 50 through 75 guys and run your team well, feels like the biggest thing, you'll be all right.
Well, you'd also still see tremendous misses, especially these guys who do want to stay home. Like, imagine if Chicago like was just biding their time for a few years to get Julian Okafor. How much that would have fun. Like, they were like, no, we're gonna get him and Cliff Alexander. That's our 4 or 5 for the next decade.
We're set. I saw that Davis kid. He was 6'1", skinny as a rail. He's got no future.
This is Curry, Tyson Chandler, but like better. And it's like, no, actually, it's worse.
And again, it'd be a thing with, okay, do those guys want to go there? Okay, can you offer a really like rookies are on a scale now, so I think it'd have to be some type of rookie scale. I don't think it should be like, somebody wants to pay Zion $250. It's like, well, on his second contract, but first, and you can still get. Negotiate whatever they can afford, whatever you want. If he does want, he's like, I'll go to LA for $1 million because I know my endorsements will quadruple it. Yeah. Or if he's like, I want to go play with, my guys, give them the money, or we'll take less money. We want good teammates with us. I just want to play with RJ and Cam or whoever he wants to play with. Like, I'm trying to. Here we go. They have the 99th best player in the league going into the season. Terrence Ross. Jarrett Allen's in the 90s. Kuzma. Joe Harris, 95, way too high. DeJounte Murray, 94. Like, again, if you just a lineup of these guys is decent. Yeah. Like Murray, Joe shooting, Kuzma getting the fit off. Well, they had Bam 93, so this is very funny.
But this is kind of the point. Bam wasn't that highly like loved coming out of the draft. You know what I mean? And it makes me think of Jalen too. Like, he went 3rd, but people said that was a reach on draft day. So where would he have gone on an open market? Yeah. He's
got Dinwiddie 92, who averaged 20 a game this year. Levine's 90, who averaged 25 a game this year. So it's like, okay, yeah, no, you could get good teams. They got to get Seattle back in the mix because the all Seattle team might just get.
They'd be a problem.
Yeah, like, is that so bad? Like, oh, you want to see these terrible teams not have talent? Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
the smart ones, they'll figure it out. They always do.
Right, and like there will always be terrible teams, no matter what you draft, no draft.
No matter how many teams, you could cut it back. You cut the league back to 12 teams, and we'd still consistently have like 2 bad teams. Like that's just how it goes. Some will always be bad.
Do you think if there was no draft in 2003, LeBron still would have went to Cleveland?
In 2000, yeah, I do.
I do too.
I do. He probably would still regretted it, but no, I think for the first one, again, maybe that's kind of the thing. Like if these guys can, like, okay, if 80 just coming out, like, okay, if I have my pickup anywhere, yeah, I'd like to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me see if I can get this done here. Or go to LA, and people would just be, against this for some reason.
Because it's change. People are automatically, we're seeing it with way more important shit right now. People are just adverse to change. Any change is scary.
Yeah, like it would, I don't know. The league is broken, Mick. Like
it's weird.
Like, Trae Young's at 30 and 10 a night, and it's like it's like he can't play defense, and nobody cares.
The NBA or the MLB just cut, I don't know, like 30 rounds off their draft, something crazy. And it wasn't that big of a story. I saw some people talking about it, but it's the MLB draft. No one cares.
Sure.
And like the MLB draft constantly is just like flop after flop, first round picks, like supposed to be blue chip guys. Like imagine if it was just Anthony Bennett year after year in the NBA. You wouldn't care either. And like all like the really good players were signed in some microtransaction you didn't even really see because they came from some like Puerto Rican academy or the Dominican or something like that.
12 years old, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, oh yeah, that guy's just been in our system for 9 years. He climbed up to the number 2 overall prospect in baseball. Now he's our franchise shortstop, making $7.25 an hour.
Yeah, for the first 6 years. What do you know?
But it's like that. If MLB just got rid of the draft entirely, and it was just all, and it's going to be mostly free agents now since they cut so many fucking rounds of the draft.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting place to like look to see how it gets done over there.
Well, I feel like it's so many busts in that major league draft because like they draft for who they can sign. That's a horrible. Right. It's like, okay, no, this guy's clearly better. We don't want to pay that much, or we don't know if we can sign this guy, so we're going to take this worst guy who's he's still pretty good, but he'll sign with us. Yeah, well, and he didn't work out. You don't say. And the superstar guy that you didn't want to pay extra $500K to end up making 6 all-star teams. What do you know? It's tough.
Mark, is it Appel? It's Appel or Apple?
Yeah.
He was drafted out of high school in 2009. I can't see the round here, but he was like, "No, I'm going to go to Stanford instead." Happens all the time. And then in 2012, he was drafted by the Pirates 8th and said no and went back. And then in 13, he was the first overall pick. And he's done nothing.
Listen, I love the power, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like the first year, Imani Bates comes out and he's like, no. Like, that's another one. It's like, okay, we want to see these franchise talent. You want to see him go get wasted by Charlotte or somebody? Like, right. Why would you not want him to, like, at least let Detroit waste him? Let him waste away at home, damn it.
I think they may try and pull, like, a LeBron to Cleveland with him.
As long as he's with it, too. Like, if he's with it.
Right.
But that's the point. All I want is for them to have the option. If they choose, whatever they choose, if he goes there and he's like, yeah, I'll go home. But, yeah, no, they're going to have to pay me the rookie max. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, and I want, like, y'all going to have to sign a couple of my boys, too. Sure. I'm like, whatever it is, whatever you want. I'm fine with that. Let him ride on the team plane.
Not for Doc Rivers, he won't.
No. What a dope.
He's like, listen, first guy on the team, 15th guy on the team, doesn't matter. Same rules. It's like, well, that's dumb.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's how you lose a team, man. It's like, come on, man. Right, they're like, hey, come on, man.
He's like, nope, Scott Burrell, Michael Jordan, same guy in my.
Yeah,
Scott's like, no, don't do this. I'm telling you, don't do this.
I don't play favorites.
Tyler, in this seemingly never-ending lockdown the world is going through, it's hard to stay motivated.
Yeah.
Especially when you're supposed to be working from home. Am I right?
Yeah, you are.
But thanks to the good people at Death Wish Coffee, makers of the world's strongest coffee, you can stay caffeinated to do whatever you do when you can't improve your game on the back nine. Am I right, Riggs? That's right.
Absolutely.
Death Wish Coffee is a dark roast blend that has double the amount of caffeine in your average cup of joe. With a smooth, bold taste, Death Wish Coffee will wake you up and help you get ready to take on the day. Death Wish Coffee is available in whole bean, ground, death cups, and cold brew. Crack a can of the cold brew with a smooth, strong taste that packs 300 milligrams of caffeine per can. We want to help you up your coffee game because right now, between us, it's pretty weak.
No, you're right. Tell me how to improve it.
We want you to get the heck off the couch.
Yeah.
That's in the ad copy. I love that.
Okay.
Listen,
you can't really play it safe when your name's Death Wish.
No, you sure can't.
We will not ass and hell are tolerated. Mild profanity.
When you go to deathwishcoffee.com/barstool, you can enter to win a bike, Death Wish cold brew, Barstool Sports merchandise, and an entire year's worth of Death Wish coffee. That's deathwishcoffee.com/barstool.
Yeah. Did you see the NFL redraft?
Literally what I was about to. I was thinking in my brain, I was like, Iverson's birthday. No, I'll close with that. There was something else. The NFL redraft, much needed comic relief in these uncertain times.
I did need that one. It took me some hours to pour over. I couldn't believe it.
So I haven't even got out of the first round yet because I wanted to save it for this.
Oh, but I've poured over every pick. All right, I did a random number generator and got number 21 and built my team, and I feel so good about my team.
So the Cincinnati Bengals. So they just went with this year's draft. Okay, they just
have a couple. It's like salary cap doesn't matter. You have to pick a quarterback, non-quarterback, offensive player, defensive player, and the fourth pick's a wild card. It can be anything.
Okay.
2020 draft order, but it's 4 rounds and the picks are snake order. The other 20 starters, the rest of the roster is made up of average NFL level talent. Our analytics team identifies that such as offensive tackle Donovan Smith, edge rusher Harold Landry, or cornerback Malcolm Butler. Wow.
Okay.
And the goal is to win a Super Bowl within 5 years.
That I did see. So what was the first pick that made you laugh out loud?
Number 8.
Yep.
Number 8.
This is one of those things where someone needs to be held accountable.
Oh yeah.
Whoever made that pick.
They were, let me see. They did let the people defend it, so you could see like the mindset behind some of these horrible people. Who was number 8, Mick? Read it for the people.
It's the one and only Drew Brees.
Drafted by Josh Winefuss, a Cardinals reporter. Brees might not have 5 years left. But he for sure has a good 1 or 2 in him. So I immediately went into win now mode. I followed with arguably that goes on to his other stuff. But
give the rest of Arizona's picks because I want to hear those with Brees.
Let's see. First round, 8, he got Drew Brees. 2, pick 57 overall, Chandler Jones. Round 3, pick 72, AJ Green.
Okay.
Round 4, 121, Patrick Peterson.
So 2 Cardinals.
2 current Cardinals, a guy that hasn't played a game since December 2018, and a 41-year-old man. That's your win now team.
So his win now team could have just had Kyler here too, and it basically would have just been like the Cardinals are good to go. We're ready.
Yeah, listen, they already did that. Kyler better than Breeze and DeAndre better than AJ. Like they're what? How do you do a fantasy draft and make your team worse?
I did forget, which is also one of the funnier picks in this draft. Pick number 26, Houston, DeAndre Hopkins.
O'Brien's like, oh man, I fucked up. Like that guy's cold.
I don't want to jump that far ahead yet. So Cincinnati, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
I think everyone in the world agrees that's the right pick.
On the level.
Number 2, and I think 2 through 4 is more preference, but I think they have the correct 4.
I agree.
Number 2, the Redskins get Russell Wilson.
Sure.
Number 3, Detroit gets reigning MVP Lamar Jackson.
Tough scene when the reigning MVP goes third and everybody's like, no, that's about right.
And listen, I'd probably take him 4, but that's neither here nor there.
I'd take him 14th. No.
Third round. Number 4, the Giants get Deshaun Watson.
So far, so good.
Number 5.
I agree with this one too.
Miami takes Aaron Donald.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if I don't want a quarterback, I need the next best other player. Fine with it.
I guess my question would be, who do they get in round 2? Because you're waiting a long time since it is a snake.
Let's see, Miami with their second round, they got Zeke Elliott.
They sure did.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh boy.
And Kevin Byard. Yeah. I gotta say, listen, Drew Brees went 8th. Kirk Cousins went in the 3rd round and just beat him. I don't hate that team. That team's way better than the Cardinals that was just drafted.
Yeah, it is. And they had a slightly better pick, but
who would you go with at 5?
I don't hate Donald there, but I'm probably within these 10, 15 picks. I don't think I'm looking anywhere other than quarterback.
So but I'm saying like who's 5th right there? Because I do think it's those 4, and then like there's a line. And then Mahomes is a line to himself
for sure.
And yeah, so who, if not Donald, what quarterbacks are worthy of 5?
If it's just 5 years,
don't do it. Don't say it.
Thinking about saying it.
You're gonna say it.
But now I'm just trying to put him up against Aaron Donald, and I don't even know if I could do that. Cam Newton in the real world doesn't have a job, so I might just take him like 4th round last pick.
Listen, he went 36 in this draft, but doesn't have a job in real life. You tell me that ain't fucking cool, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who's like the lowest. Who's the last quarterback who went? Ben Roethlisberger went 91. Jameis went 95. Tyrod went 97. Surprised he was drafted at all.
Listen, that guy drafted the worst team.
Kansas City?
Yes. He drafted Tyrod, Nick Chubb.
He took 2 running backs.
Yeah, he did. Dalvin Cook and Stephon Gilmore. I was like, respectfully, I like all 4 of those guys. That team's winning 5 games. Max. Howard, like this is fantasy, dog. Like how? Wait, but yeah, what other court? Like the ones that went right after that, Breeze. Would you take Breeze at 5?
For sure not.
Dak Prescott.
It's debatable.
Wentz.
Again, yeah, I think it's debatable.
Rodgers.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
I don't hate Burrow.
If I thought he was like the highest upside young guy, because we're seeing how Deshaun and Mahomes and Lamar and Russell Wilson all acclimated to the league so quickly. If I thought he had the highest upside, yeah, maybe. But it'd probably be Kyler if I was trying to go with like one of the young guys.
Boy, we're building because there's a couple of guys ahead of Kyler.
Yeah, there sure are.
Brady went after that to Tampa Bay. Drew Lock.
They mailed it. Well, tell the whole story. They completely punted picks 14, 15, and 16 in this mock draft.
Yeah. Brady, Locke, 16, Atlanta, Matt Ryan. Listen, Atlanta loves Matt Ryan. I'm not going to say they hate him, but you talk about in a fantasy draft. If they had to, come on, man. Y'all bullshit me. Kyler, the number one pick last year that won rookie of the year, like did what he was supposed to do, went behind Drew Lock, who went in the second round last year and didn't start the like what? Huh?
Listen, he's not tall enough for Denver. You know that.
Boy, oh boy. Teddy Bridgewater. Come on, man.
Yeah, no one's stock has improved by doing like very little than Teddy Bridgewater. If they did this last year, does he even get picked?
No.
Of course not.
And again, that's like it's not a knock. He's one of those like, oh, if he's in fourth round, yeah, give me Teddy as my quarterback. 18th
Right.
overall. Come on, man. 20 of the first 32 picks were quarterbacks. There are not 20 good quarterbacks. So you're not getting.
How many do you think there are?
Good quarterbacks. Let's start at the top. Mahomes, good.
All right. If we're gonna do hot takes, I don't know if we could even take the exercise.
Russ 2, Lamar 3, Deshaun 4, Breeze 5, Dak 6, Wentz 7, Rodgers 8. Burrow's the 9th one here. I think he'll be good, but
Right, we don't know.
As I say, I can't put a grade on him. Brady's good. Drew Lock is another one. I can't say he's shown good things, but I can't comfortably say he's a good quarterback.
For sure.
Matt Ryan's good. Kyler, I think it's fair
Kyler's
to say
good.
Yeah, Kyler's good. Teddy Bridgewater, I wouldn't call him good.
No, not yet.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would say like he got him to a
Yeah, I'd lean toward good, but I could see the case to him not being. I'll tell you what he's not. The 19th overall pick in a fantasy draft. Like, that's chaos. Baker Mayfield can be good, but I couldn't say he's a good quarterback right now.
No, but I would lean good.
Sam Darnold, same way. I feel like the same for Baker. Ryan Tannehill. This man didn't have a job 12 months ago. Now, that was clearly a mistake. But now you're telling me you take him over anybody? Come on, man. And
taking him over Stafford feels crazy.
Yeah. Like, would you say Tannehill's good?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm had a great year. Let me see it one more season, and I'll put you in.
That's the kind of pick where it's like if I could get if I built 3 other players and I'm getting him in the 4th, because clearly
exactly, yeah. Like
the Titans have a very solid overall roster. Half the fucking definitions of league average were guys on their roster.
Right.
So yeah, if I can get him in the 4th with 3 really plus players, yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
25, no.
So Tannehill, no. Stafford, I think Stafford's good. And Tua. Tua's the 20th one. He's same as Burrow. I can't say. So how many are not good? Tannehill's not good. 1. Darnold 2. Baker 3. Teddy 4. Drew Lock 5.
So it's about 15.
So yeah, 5. Couple rookies.
Yeah.
So yeah, 15-ish good quarterbacks.
Yeah, so like if I had like I think Green Bay taking Tua at 30, I like that because especially since they're getting another pick in 2 seconds, like not a ton of talent's going to be out. Like you'll still get a premier player at 35.
Absolutely. I considered him for my random one. I was like, just because, if you think he's that guy, same with Burrow. If you think he's that guy and he's that guy immediately, in 5 years you can win a Super Bowl with him.
Right, and I would say the same for Baker and Darnold in these 30s as well. I just think we have enough tape on Ryan Tannehill to be like, I'd rather one of these young guys instead of him.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
So yeah, probably within like the top 10. Like I don't hate Aaron Donald because he is that deal. And I know there's been a lot of talk about Ronnie Stanley recently as like he's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. He's probably the best tackle in the league. I can't evaluate tackles like that. I know bad ones. I can't tell you like who's elite versus who's just very good.
But
I don't know if I'd take him 6.
it's like I don't hate it because it's like, okay, I need like at 6, I need the most elite player.
Right.
And it's like, would I rather have the best tackle in the league or the like 4 quarterbacks are already gone? So it's like, what do you like Dak Prescott or Ronnie Stanley, especially on the other end? I'm trying to say, who did they put with him? The Chargers.
They take Darius Smith in the 2nd round. Then they take
Daniel Jones. Like, I don't hate this. Like, I don't like, yeah, a young guy that shows some potential. We've got the best left tackle keeping him up. I don't hate that. I'm just amazed that 20 quarterbacks went first round. They're not 20 good quarterbacks. 1 offensive lineman went.
What I don't like about their draft, I get the elite argument. They took 2 offensive linemen out of their 4 picks. Like if you're telling me you get the 15th ranked line, I probably am not taking any linemen in this exercise.
I mean, I could see that, but even like if it's just like I need a blue chip, it's like the same for Don. Like I just want the best player, regardless of position.
For sure, but that's why I'd probably lean the guy who went next and the guy who's already on their team.
I bet you would. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I'm taking Joey Wahlberg at number 6.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. You would go Joey over Nick if just given like a free draft of him right now? Because I think it's like if you go like we're projecting forward and like Joey's still incredible, but Christ, Joey wasn't what Nick was his rookie year, and he was incredible his rookie year. So
he was
like they went what 3 picks apart, 7.
Yeah, they went 7 and 10. So clearly,
yeah, like I'd take either one of them guys before Drew Brees. That's a fact,
without question.
Would you like Bosa or Dak?
Same off the.
Because it's like, okay, you want the 5th, 6th, or whatever. And there's still people that don't think Dak is good. Like
for sure.
So we got to 15, I think, with a generous grading curve.
I'm just trying to see other like that. This is where it's like, how big do you think the gap is between both Bosa's and like Myles Garrett and Chase Young? Well, Chase Young went way too high in this, but
I agree.
Cam Jordan, Danielle Hunter, Chandler Jones. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree.
So that's where
you would go Dak.
That's where I see liking Aaron Donald more than because like there is a huge gap between him and the next best D tackle. D end, I feel like there are, and the Bosa's are special. There's no doubting that. But I think there's a lot of special D ends.
All right.
Like if you tell me I can get Danielle Hunter this fucking late, where did he go? He went
very late.
56. Like, yeah, I'm doing that all day.
Listen, the team I drafted, I don't want to see who they really got. I just randomly picked a generator and they gave me 21, which pissed me off. I was like, I wish I was a liar, man. I would have just been like, wow, 6th pick. Awesome. They got Baker Mayfield in the 1st round. They got Chase Young in the 2nd round. They got Lane Johnson in the 3rd round. And they got A.J. Brown in the 4th round. The team I picked, I went Matthew Stafford in the 1st round. I went, where did I go? Chandler Jones, 2nd round. Okay. I went Jamal Adams, 3rd round, because Jamal Adams is available in the 3rd round for some reason. And I went Zach Martin in the 4th round.
Okay.
And I was like, that's like if I'm going offensive lineman, I needed to be one of the best, and he's one of the best, and I got him in the 4th round.
Right.
Like he's making the same all pros like Ronnie Stanley is now at a less important position, but if he's upgrading my line like that, him, Stafford, and then Chandler Jones and Jamal Adams on my defense, I'm beating the shit out of the Chiefs.
Yeah. So you did it based on like how the actual draft board fell and then whoever was available after that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, no. I took Mahomes 21. Aaron Donald was available at 56.
Well, I just didn't know if you like
I'm
ran like a full simulator. You know, like you loaded up Madden and you're like, no, I've got the 21st pick, whoever's available.
Yeah, like I'm just biding my time. No, yeah, I just took whoever was available. like in and around that because at 21, like my point, I was like, I'm gonna get a quarterback later, and it came to a point. I was like, okay, now a good bit of the good ones and even the young ones are gone.
Right.
So I got Stafford 21. I was like, I'm fine. He went 28th in the real one. I'd take him over Baker for the next 5 years.
I'm just looking at the board now because from then to their next pick.
21's so trash because even the snake is trash, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Like you don't get within a top 10 pick on either side of it.
No, but like you could get. I mean, I may just take Cam at 21.
All right. Enough.
If he's healthy,
enough.
He's better than Stafford, yes.
I don't know, man. When Cam had a great 8 games and got hurt, he was done. And Stafford had a great 8 games and got hurt. And it's like, no, we just got to get this guy healthy. He's elite.
I might take Gilmore there just to have, like, all right, I have an elite corner opposite of an average corner. That feels pretty enticing. And then on the other end,
it's such a trash pick, dude.
It is. It's not a fun pick to have.
I also say, like, I mean, of course, I drafted mine with hindsight because my original second pick, I was like, oh, I'm going Minkah Fitzpatrick. And then I realized I could get Jamal Adams in the third. So they didn't have that kind of foresight. But even if I went with my first picks, I'm beating the hell out of the Cardinals, man. That team stinks.
Derwin James goes 62.
Stephen Shea. Like Trey White went 3rd round. He was a guy I was thinking about too.
Trey White's so good.
Like that's what, like there's so much. Like toward the end, I wanted a receiver, and there's a run of receivers late, but it's like there's so many good receivers. Like if you just give me Stafford a plus line because I got Zach Martin and just average receivers, we'll cook. There's just so many receivers now.
New England gets such a weird team in this.
Oh boy.
We get Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I would take that right now over real life.
Yeah, upgrade.
Yeah, TJ Watt.
Very Patriots.
Amari Cooper.
Okay.
And Frank Clark.
Yikes.
The least New England-y DN type available.
Okay, would you trade your 4 best players right now for those 4 best players?
No.
Who's your 4 best players right now? Gilmore.
Probably Gilmore. Yeah.
No. Yeah, who's your legit best 4 now? Gilmore.
It's been so long since I've thought about football. I need to literally come up with the roster.
That's what I'm like I feel like that's a better than your core 4, man. I'll swap that. It sucked to lose Gilmore, but yeah.
Let's see.
Like a line, Sonny Michel, maybe? No,
I mean fucking Edelman's one of those 4. Probably 4.
Okay, he wasn't drafted here, so
that's crazy.
I mean, like it's just how many receivers it is, and that's why I didn't pick one. I didn't even think about him. But it's like, oh yeah, he just wasn't drafted. I'll pick him up later, or if that's part of if Edelman's average production, please give me average production.
It's weird because some of our linemen had down year last year after being elite the year prior. So it's like, are they elite or are they just okay? Joe Tooney, teams were trying to trade for him all offseason. He still might get traded. Shaq Mason had a huge year last year, not as good this most recent year. Marcus Cannon was massive last year. David Andrews, one of the best centers in the league. He had blood clots in his lungs, missed the whole year.
That's even you can of those guys, you can only pick 2 for this exercise. So if it was Gilmore,
for sure.
Any 2 of those guys, and is Edelman the 4?
No, it's probably, in all honesty, it's probably all secondary guys.
Yeah, what's Jonathan? Was it Jones?
Not even Jonathan Jones. J.C. Jackson.
Jackson.
Jason Jonathan Jones is nice too. Like that's the thing. Our whole I would probably say.
Oh wait, Jonathan Jones does play for you.
Yeah, we have both. They're
okay,
both
yeah,
nice.
that's what I was thinking of. Damn, I thought like I had one for the wrong team.
No, because we had another one who's now in Seattle who's got a similar name, so it fucks me up all the time too.
Yeah, okay, so one of those, two of those guys, two secondary guys, two offensive linemen.
Well, no, I'd say it's two of them, McCourty and Hightower would be our top four.
Not Gilmore?
No, Gilmore is one. Sorry, Gilmore, one of those two corners.
Oh, I got you.
McCourty, because like J.C. Jackson's one of those like crazy like pass deflection, like doesn't allow a lot, but it's like he's our second, third corner, and the other corner is fucking Stephon Gilmore. So it's like he's really good. The scheme's really good. The whole secondary is really good.
All right,
it'd be one of those.
Oh, yeah, Gilmore.
Whoever you like more.
You wouldn't trade that for Darnold, Watt, Cooper, and Clark? That's a tough four, man.
You really, it's the trade is pinning Darnold on being that dude, and I'm not sold that he is.
If he's like in this exercise, I'm guessing if you give Darnold to Belichick, though.
Yep.
You're still not sold on him?
Not really. Like he's all right.
Oh man,
if it were Kyler, I'd say yes. If it were, I'm trying to see who else is going.
He's already gone.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. The range. Like if it were Baker, I might say yes. If it were, if it were Stafford, I'd say no. If it were Tua, it would be hard to say yes.
I think it'd be hard to say no. Tua with Belichick. Oh, he coached for another 15 years. That alone,
he's going to do that regardless. Like,
but he's going to want to do it now. He's like, no, get my son out of here. I need a real coordinator.
I mean, we could also. I hate that I have to harp on this. Just sign Cam Newton.
No, listen, no one's doing that. Stop trying to make Cam Newton happen. He's done. Now let me take a 41-year-old quarterback, 8th.
Cam went 36th.
Honest to God, Breeze is one of those. Like when I first looked at it, I was like, yeah, if I can get an older guy like in the second round, nope. Like how soon would you take a running back? I know you take one like first. Nah, you operate shady business.
Well, it's interesting. If I were running Kansas City or San Francisco, and it's like I could get one on the swing. With one of these early seconds, like I wouldn't hate that. But if like someone like Julio's still on the board, like I'm probably gonna take Julio.
But which one would you, if like at 34, which one would you take? Because Dalvin goes 33. Like, would you take Saquon?
Yeah.
Nah. The last pick of the third round is Nick Chubb. I can do better later.
And he's that team's RB2.
Well, they going 5-11. So
CeeDee Lamb goes before Keenan Allen. That feels weird.
What also made me like, there are a lot of players on here whose teams just did not want to pay them, which is hilarious to me. Like in the top 128-ish players in the league, I'll just scroll like Yannick Ngakoue won't even talk to his team. Like they hate each other. Who else? Dak was like a top 10 pick. His team don't want he still ain't been paid. Nobody wanted Jameis, and he goes 95th here. Rivers was an old man. He go 4th round here. Dante Fowler Jr. That I don't know about that.
It's 5'11", Dante Fowler Jr.
Who else? Trent Williams was here. I was like, yeah, he didn't even play because he hates his team so much. He went top of the 3rd round. Jared Stidham went 71, which is very funny.
Jared Stidham went ahead of a lot. Like Jared Stidham went ahead of Jared Goff.
Yeah. Would you take Carr? Yeah, because he's cool. I don't know.
Goff seems way cooler. Truth be told.
I agree. Like, boy, it's just some of these. I get I think that
he went 94.
Yeah, the team could not get rid of him quick enough. A good bit of these, I see why like the Arizona guy picked Patrick Peterson, of course. I think this would have been so much better if you got assigned a random team.
Right, instead of your own.
If you're the Cardinals writer, okay, cool. You're drafting for the Lions, right? We just want to object because you picked Patrick Peterson, man. Come on. Cincinnati picked Tyler Lockett with the last pick in the draft. Come on.
Listen, I like Tyler Lockett.
128. Like the last 4 picks were Allen Robinson, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Tyler Lockett. Like I like all 4 of those guys in any order. So if I know that's the quality that's going here, I'll find some receivers. If below that is average, I'll find average.
Yeah, I think Tyler Lockett's like a big step above average.
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree. Like he's good. So if average I know is below that because he's really good. So listen, Allen Robinson too.
Pretty much all these receivers who went ahead of him, he's better than. What happened here?
Would you take Lockett over Ruggs? In this for the next 5 years, you take Galladay?
Yeah.
I take Galladay there. That guy is nasty. Sutton?
He is. But I mean, Lockett is just like every time I watch him play, he's one of the best players on the field. And Galladay is nice, no question about it. But I don't know. I think Lockett's like special. Like AJ Brown, he was tremendous as a rookie. I think Lockett's better. Metcalf, he's a freak. I think Lockett's better. Diggs, I think he's better than Diggs.
Nah, this man got 1,000-yard season, Mick.
Yeah, for sure. He plays in a really historically dumb offense. No question. Like Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, that's where it's like, I definitely take Keenan Allen above him. Amari Cooper, too. Like CeeDee Lamb, I love CeeDee Lamb's potential as much as anyone. I don't know that, like, if I'm trying to build a winner, I'm taking him a full round ahead of Tyler Lockett.
Nah, I'd take Lamb ahead of him.
AJ Green.
AJ, that's a wild one. A wild one. Like Godwin. Godwin's available in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert went 55th. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know why he went ahead of like Daniel Jones even.
Yeah, I agree. I would take Daniel Jones over Herbert. Chase Young going 44. I would take a good bit of like the next 10 guys over Chase Young. And I think Chase Young is going to be incredible. But like over the next 5 years, Bobby Wagner, nah. Henry, I'm not drafting that guy. A million.
Period.
Minkah Fitzpatrick, next 5 years, would you take Minkah or Chase Young?
Minkah.
I go Minkah. Tyron Smith, I go Young. I think Tyron Smith, his teeth getting longer. They're not long yet. Cam Jordan or Chase Young?
Cam.
Yeah. Kelsey or Chase Young?
I'd have to see the rest of my team. All one other pick I've made.
I think one of tight ends is one of the I think the gap between elite to average is so big. Because you see it's like, oh boy, they found a tight end. He can block only from the left side. They're thrilled. Like they haven't had a guy that can do this in 10 years. Odell Beckham went in the 50s, which feels way too low.
54. I mean, Von Miller went 53.
Teeth getting longer, man.
I guess, but I'm taking him a smooth 15 picks before.
Yeah, listen, Myles Garrett went 34. And I'm thinking he's not quite Bosa brother, but I think he's right there up underneath it.
For sure, right there.
So if he's there, then would you Dak or Myles Garrett?
Dak.
Wentz or Myles Garrett?
I think Dak and Wentz are like almost the same guys. So Wentz.
Rodgers.
Yeah, especially if it's just for 5 years, I still gotta go Rodgers.
Burrow and Brady.
Burrow, they're both interesting because Brady is like the same as Breeze. Like, how many more? Like, can he play 5? Probably not. Will Garrett be available for all 5? Who's to say?
That's what I said. Listen, if I'm guaranteed, even
on the horizon.
if he's still got another bonk in him, I still take him first round. If I know I'm getting no bonks, he's top 20. Drew Lock. I'd take Myles Garrett before Drew Lock.
For sure.
Personally.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, give me Garrett.
I think that's about the line for me. Because it's like Matt Ryan, like he's not elite, but Matt Ryan like I think he's very good. Like he's in the high end of good. To be the pick after Drew Lock is disrespectful. Both of those guys drafted their own 3 straight picks in a row. Guys took their own quarterback. So a lot of fun. A lot of fun with this hypothetical exercise, guys. So much fun.
And 2 of those guys have played a grand total of like 4 combined games for those teams.
Right. Love it. Wow. Send in the boots. 18, Teddy Bridgewater. Again, I love Teddy B. I'm so glad he's going to get to start with like a innovative offensive coach. 18?
Yeah.
You take he or Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett.
Jimmy G or Myles?
If you told me Myles Garrett's guaranteed minimum 2 bonkings, I'm still taking Garrett.
I was going to say, if he's like, he played 10 games last year. He had 10 sacks. So, like, whatever games he's playing, he's doing numbers. I can live with that. Christian McCaffrey or Garrett?
Okay, come on.
McCaffrey. I knew it. Baker? I'd go Garrett, man. Personally.
Garrett, I know no matter what is going to be a beast. Baker, you got to work with a little bit and hope he's a beast. So, yeah, I'm probably going to take the known Garrett.
Michael Thomas.
I mean, I'd rather line Myles Garrett up at wide receiver.
I think he could make the Pro Bowl.
Without question. He might have a few more drops, but
Khalil Mack. I think that's an interesting one.
Yeah, if it's just 5 years, I'm probably taking Mack.
Yeah, I'm not even saying because it's like Darnold and Tannehill. I feel like Garrett easily. Like DeAndre Hopkins. That's one I was like, because it's next 5, I might have to go Hopkins, but it's close.
But it's also one of these things too, like we were just talking about. There's so many like really good receivers going, like Odell Beckham at 54, and he can clearly be a wide receiver 1. But there's a lot of really good wide.
Oh, you remember when he kicked that net? You think he's got it? Are you kidding me?
There's too many good receivers. Like I'd rather Amari Cooper at the end of the 3rd as a wide receiver 1, and I can have Garrett well ahead of that. Like, yeah, I'd probably do that.
I don't disagree. Because, like, Mike Evans goes next. Like, I feel like that's about the range. Stafford or Myles Garrett? I think that feels like about how value is. Like, okay, this guy's, the 3rd best defensive end here? Yeah, after the Bosa brothers. 4th defensive, if you include Donald. Or the best quarterback?
Because of where he got taken, I'm more inclined to say Stafford.
It's better value.
Yeah, it's just like for some reason he's there at 28. Cool. And then they get the 37th and they take Julio, but it's like Jalen Ramsey's right there. TJ Watt, Chase Young. Yeah, Minka goes. So it's like, all right. Like now just Cam Jordan goes. Like there's a couple, like, yeah. So that's the thing. I could take Stafford and then Von Miller right there. I'd probably rather just do that.
Ty Hill or Garrett?
Garrett.
Kittle or Garrett?
I like my bonkings on field. Probably say Kittle.
Gilmore or Garrett?
You're asking the wrong person that question.
Listen, speak it.
I'm taking Gilmore.
Okay. Dalvin Cook.
Garrett.
And then Garrett's the next pick after that. So
you should have went like late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, like I would take Garrett as early as like Drew Lock went 15th. That's where the Garrett range starts immediately. If we're in Drew Lock territory, we're in Myles Garrett territory.
Listen, Drew Brees went 8th. I think we
Where Drew Brees said 8th. Are you kidding me? That was somebody putting a vote of support behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drew Brees was like, "Hey, man, I know you know that I'm reading this hypothetical draft right now. Throw me a bone here."
Yeah, I feel like they had this whole thing done like a week ago, and then this Breeze stuff happened, and they're like, "Guys, sorry, we have to redo literally all of it because I'm changing my pick at 8." They're like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
He's like, "Guys, listen. Next, when we're outside, I'll buy y'all lunch, man. But I can't I can't have this one on the resume. Not now." Also, a kicker went.
Who?
In the 4th round, Justin Tucker, literally the best kicker of all time. Tremendous. I'm not taking him in a 4-round core 4 draft. Not a chance.
Not if I'm getting a known average kicker.
Yeah. Like,
you can win a Super Bowl in 5 years with an average kicker. I've seen it happen.
The picks immediately after Tucker at 99 are Yair Alexander, the corner, Stephon Diggs, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrann Mathieu, Harrison Smith, Phillip Rivers, bad pick, Frank Clark, Micah Hyde, A.J. Brown, Eddie Jackson still on the board, Jeff Okudah still on the Darius Leonard still on the board for some reason.
Yeah, Darius Leonard went way too low. And honestly, there aren't many linebackers who got taken to begin with, which I understand. Like, it's cool to hate on him right now, but I don't know. There's a couple I would rather take over some of these players.
Yeah, I would rather have Darius Leonard than Justin Tucker, personally. Zach Martin, who's made 6 straight All-Pro teams. Jedrick Wills is within 5 picks of Zach Martin. Zach Martin is headed for the Hall of Fame. Jedrick Wills might. Like, I hope he is, but come on, man.
Yeah, they were really high on a lot of guys who got drafted this year.
Yeah. Which, again, I hope it's a great sign. Like, I hope he's nice. I would love to. Somebody got to put together. I just need to see an honorable mention because I know there's so many good names, but there's no like who didn't get picked. Because I know there's like if you're just talking about these are the average guys, you can build a hell of a team. And I would not take 2 running backs and Tyrod Taylor.
No, that's a tough way to build a team.
The first pick of the 4th round, he took Tyrod Taylor, man. I feel like if he's your backup, you're in great shape. If I have a core 4 pick, he's not making my core 4.
Yeah, at that point too, like if you're getting an average quarterback, why even take? Do you have to take one? Was that part of the drill?
Yeah, you do have to take at least one quarterback.
Okay.
Wait, let me make sure. I think you have to.
I was going to say I'd probably just punt on quarterback at that point.
Okay, yeah, you do have to select a quarterback.
Well, that's no fun.
But even then, I'm trying to think of the quarterbacks that weren't selected. Because what's the gap between Tyrod Taylor and average is the question then.
Is there one?
That's what I'm saying. Like
average.
Yeah, so like average is a starter, but if he's your backup, I feel like you're in good shape.
Is there a huge gap between Tannehill and Tyrod Taylor?
No, boy, they're gonna yell at you. He couldn't have thrown 7 passes again to get into the conference final. I'm trying to think guys that weren't drafted that are
quarterback.
Here. Yeah, like Fitzpatrick. If Fitzpatrick is a league average quarterback, right. Dalton wasn't drafted. Gardner Minshew wasn't drafted. Trubisky, no dice. I would take Minshew before I take like Phillip Rivers for the next 5.
Who's buddy in Washington?
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, he didn't get drafted, right?
Yep, no Haskins. No Case Keenum.
No Bortles.
No Foles, yeah. No Rosen.
Oh, yeah, Foles.
Huh?
I was just thinking Foles. Buddy in New Orleans.
Who?
The older, better Lamar Jackson.
Taysom Hill, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, these experts had their time to pick him 14th overall. They didn't.
Right.
Andy Dalton, did he get taken?
Nope.
Good.
Yeah, fuck him. Nah.
No,
but it's like, yeah, okay, if I can get to pick if I didn't have to pick a quarterback and knew I could get Minshew, I don't think if every team had a half, I don't think it's 32 better prospects for the next 5 years.
No. I might just be like, I don't really care what the rules are. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence in the second round.
Yeah, listen, somebody,
Yeah.
he'll fall to you after somebody takes Gostkowski, even though he's out of the league.
I'm just trying to think of backups. Jake Fromm, I'd probably take him right after Breeze.
Let's see who else. AJ McCarron's still available. Glennon's still available. The studs. Stidham.
Mariota.
Oh no, somebody took Stidham. Yeah, Mariota's available.
That's a pick, like taking Stidham without Belichick. It's like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, come on, man. You're of all the elite players, and it's like if this is how NFL teams think, I see why they stay bad. Like if the options are getting value at a position that's not quarterback, and it's like, well, no, you have to get one, and then if it doesn't work, you have to keep paying them more and more money. That will make it work.
I can't believe Matt Schaub's still in the league.
Oh man, I can't believe Josh Allen quarterback went before Josh Allen DN. And I'll say that
him going in the second round is disrespectful.
Josh Allen.
Disrespectful. Yeah.
My Josh Allen. Right.
I'd rather have Josh Allen than Tannehill.
I don't hate it. Like there are a number of. He was the last pick in the second round. The pick directly ahead of him was Shaq Barrett.
No, I mean the quarterback one.
Oh yeah, I'll take him out before Drew Brees. Shit. 5? Hey man, like I might get we don't even know Drew Brees has one good one. We think he got one good one left. It's been 5 years and Teddy Bridgewater hadn't given us 5 good seasons.
Oh.
Some of those for reasons he can't control, but I can't take him 18th knowing that.
Yeah, would you rather have Teddy or Tua?
Tua.
Or Teddy or Darnold?
I'd have to go Darnold.
Teddy or Cam?
Carolina already made that choice.
I was going to say.
It's wild disrespectful that Cam got picked 36 here and does not have a job, man. That Joe Flacco just had neck surgery.
Will not be ready for the beginning of the year.
Be ready to be bad.
Well, this is the thing too. Everyone keeps talking about like, Patriots can't sign him. They don't have the cap space. This, that, and third. Like right now, they're bidding against no one.
Yeah, like I think it was. Now, Bomani was like, "Man, I wouldn't." He's like, "Would anybody be like surprised if he just walked away?" Like I think it's like we can all agree, like he really loves football, but if he's like, "Man, like I know I'm better than more than half these guys if I'm healthy. I know I'm healthy." Yeah, and I got to scrap. Like I got to go be back up to some guy I'm better than. Fuck that.
Well, it's one of those things too. Like if he is healthy, and he goes to one of these like battle it out against Jarrett Stidham, he's gonna blow him out of the fucking water. Like it won't be a battle.
I think if he went there and had a great year and hit free agency again, I think they'd give Belichick the credit.
For sure, but I also think we'd pay him.
I hope. But I hope y'all pay him right now. And ain't nobody paying him right now, Mick.
That's one of those things. Like if we can't open up cap space for this year, which there are always ways around that. But let's say we do only have that like million or whatever we have. You could sign him to a 5-year or a 2-year deal. Like if he doesn't want to put 5 on it, like he was like, no, I want to build myself back up. You could sign him to a 2-year deal worth however the fuck much money you want it to be. You pay him 1 this year, you pay him the rest next year.
Yeah.
Or you cut him.
Put an option on it. Yeah, there's ways to. Yeah.
Because everything I've heard, we have all the cap space in the world next year. This year, it's just we don't.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Like for next year, would you Cam Newton for the minimum or Phillip Rivers for $25 million?
Yeah, it's not even a discussion.
Like
it really is.
And again, not to say, yeah, for next year, Phillip Rivers better than Cam. Sure, I'm fine with that. Is he going to be 25 times better?
No.
I mean, I don't even know what Cam's veteran minimum is. A couple million. So is he going to be like 12 times better? No way. And it ain't baseball. Like there's a finite amount of cap space.
Right.
So, yeah, him getting 20, and I think he got 2 years.
He sure did.
It's like, boy, oh boy, he didn't have a line last year. Well, he's a lot older this year, so like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is one of those things too, where it's like if the virus wasn't happening and he was able to take physicals with the team, would he still be unsigned? I don't know. But the rhetoric and the way people talk about it is unlike anything I've ever seen with a quarterback.
It might be. I don't know if I say like athlete, but I don't know if I've ever seen anything like a football player. And there's another thing Bomani says is like people, even if they hate Cam, they will not admit he's good. They won't even admit he was ever good. Like he's not the first like quarterback to be hated, right? But people admit like, oh, listen, Drew Brees. I would never say Drew Brees was a bad quarterback. Like
right.
That's just a lie.
Right. I hate Peyton Manning. I wouldn't say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, terrible. Like this man won an MVP, and people were like, "No, he was never good. Like it was a fluke. He fluke won MVP. Like
he fluke carried a mediocre Auburn team to a national championship. We all saw it.
Boy, oh boy, and yeah.
What is it? Why do you think it is? Because like they're a black quarterback, so he already has that. Yeah. But there are other black quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like they don't get what he gets.
No, what's the opposite of a perfect storm? It's like the worst. That's what can't like
a sunny day.
like going into Florida, he's like one behind the Golden Boy already. No matter what he did in practice, he wasn't going to start over Tebow. Then he got in some trouble and transferred. Strike one. That was the first public strike against him for like stealing some laptops. Like again, not even some. If it was like some heinous shit, then for sure.
Right.
He stole some laptops. Okay. I'm sure he did his whatever community service. Okay. Then gets to Blinn, dominates, comes to Auburn, but there's the whole pay-in scandal, which
first person that's ever happened with.
Yeah, but it strike two. Then boy, oh boy, I think it was beating Bama, man. I think that was the one. I'm not even kidding. The way he beat Bama on the way to the title, because Bama's like, it's a thing. Like they don't have a pro team, but all these college people still hate Cam Newton. So that was like
they revere Bo Jackson for the same shit.
You say you cut out for a second. What'd you say?
They revere Bo Jackson for doing the same shit.
Bo Jackson wasn't playing a thinking man's position. Anything you hear about Bo Jackson is what an athletic marvel freak, and he was for sure.
So was Cam Newton.
That's what I'm saying. Well, no. He doesn't get that credit. Yeah, but he's doing I think that turned the tide. Then he got drafted immediately, and like that him getting paid left a horrible taste in people's mouth. I have no idea why. Like people think he's, I guess, like cocky or self-righteous, all that. It's like, yeah, so is every good player ever. I don't know. He types funny. That was strike 4.
He had 4 touchdowns. He accounted for all 4 touchdowns in that Alabama game.
We're down, 27 zip?
I think it was 24.
It was 4 scores. Because I should have got that tweet off then, but I ain't had a vision.
No, you didn't. It says The time Cam Newton led a 24-point comeback against Alabama.
24. That's what it was. Like the way you go down 24 zip, like on the way to a title run. And it was at Bama, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you do that and it was a wrap until it wasn't. And boy, oh boy. A bunch of people was like, I'm gonna hate that guy forever. He broke my heart. Like, I'm gonna hate that guy forever.
This is from the Associated Press recap. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Cam Newton ran around Bryant-Denny Stadium with a hand over his mouth, having hushed up those who might have thought his shot at the national title was done, along with the Heisman Trophy. He's very much on track for both, thanks to his most audacious performance yet in this season of triumph and controversy. Why even include controversy? No one has ever rallied a team to victory over Alabama after trailing by 24 points.
Never.
That's just what Newton did Friday, leading number 2 Auburn to a stunning 28-27 triumph. That's bad writing. He's used triumph a couple times.
Sorry, I was 17.
That kept the Tigers in the thick of the BCS championship race and might have swayed any Heisman voters who had their doubts about voting for a guy hounded by unsavory allegations. You don't have to end every paragraph like this.
Listen, nobody likes Cam Newton. This is what happens when nobody likes him. Every single article has this slant to not even all Alabama fans, but they all hate him like this. He's disgusting.
Newton rallied a team that has trailed in 8 of its 12 games.
What was it? Yeah, no other player on offense played a single snap in the NFL from that Auburn offense.
Nick Fairley was the only one who got drafted on defense, right?
I think so. I think he got drafted, and I think like that one other it was either random defensive lineman or somebody like got signed and played a couple games, but nobody from the offense. And even he don't even get the credit in college. When you talk about like building like the teams are like an ideal best season, he don't even. It's like Tebow, Burrow this past year. It's like, man, Burrow did the numbers, but God forbid if you put Cam in that LSU system with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and all those guys.
I did think their tight end, who I completely forgot about until just now, Philip Lutzenkirchen. I thought he was going to be in the league because he just had a all-time tight end name.
Great tight end name, yeah. I think he had a couple years.
That's the kind of team we have. We never give up, said an Auburn player not named Cam Newton. Hey, you've Cam Newton. Why don't you just say that, dude?
Man, oh, man. That was...
Auburn trailed 21-0 before it even picked up a first down.
Yeah, like that was the thing. It wasn't fluke stuff. They were getting just whooped, and people was loving it.
Alabama had a 314-2 lead in total yards. 314-2.
I remember this, boy. Oh, man.
Newton's day started with a rendition of Take the Money and Run blaring over the loudspeakers during pregame warm-ups.
Yep, piss them off.
Jesus Christ. Newton didn't do much on the ground. No. Crazy they even won this game because that's all he can do.
He's a bum. I heard you.
Newton, who hasn't spoken to the media in 2.5 weeks, kept up his no-comment policy after the game.
Smart man. Okay, yeah. Strike 4. Media hates him. Yeah.
If you're not talking to the media, they will not like you. No wonder every paragraph ends with, and by the way.
Yeah, by the way, fuck this guy. He was very mean to me. Then it was I remember it came out in the national championship. He went for a touchdown when his coach told him to take a knee. Like before they were setting up for, I think, the game-winning field goal. He tried to sneak it in and got stopped. And that came out somehow because people don't like Cam Newton. How does that even come out? Because people don't like Cam Newton. That Gruden was showing him pictures and Cam was comparing himself to a gun on quarterback camp. I can see how that could rub some people the wrong way. Gene Chizik is a championship because of Cam Newton. Like you don't follow. I'm trying to think of an NBA comparison. Who's a? I don't even know who's the worst coach in the.
Tyronn Lue had the championship because of LeBron James.
Nah, not even, because it's like at the very least, Lue's above average. Like Gene Chizik outside.
Sure, it's above average.
Huh?
He's got to be above average.
Gene Chizik stinks, dude. He had that 14
Right?
Huh?
He's still there, right? At Auburn?
No, that's that was what's the offensive coordinator's name? The guy with the glasses.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's the good one.
I got you. Yeah, you're right.
I cannot think of his name.
I got them confused.
Malzahn.
Yeah, Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, Malzahn was the coordinator. Malzahn was the good one.
Fucking weird last name white guys.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. Chizik went 3-9 at Iowa State in 2007. 3-9, 2-10 the next year, and got the Auburn job.
Yeah, what?
But white privilege is not real. Do you hear me? You understand what I'm saying, Mick? This man went 5-19 for 2 years for Iowa State and got the Auburn job.
And then they won the national championship. I noticed you're leaving that part of the story out.
Yeah, they won 8 games the first year, then got Cam Newton 14-0, 8-5, 3-9, and he's out. He had Cam Newton on his team, and his career record at Auburn is 14 games above 500. They went 14-0 that Cam Newton season. His total record for his career is 38-38. Like, he's the middest coach.
Yeah.
Ever.
So it'd be like George Karl.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Who's a bad NBA coach now? Mike Miller. Nah, he's good. I feel like there's a lot of good coaches. I don't want to say it out loud, but
Chip Boylan.
Yeah. It'd be like if Boylan just ran up a title 1 year and lived off that. Like, Gene Chizik's on TV right now because he can't coach, and he better on TV. I'll give him that.
Julio put up a casual 10 reception, 199-yard day. 1 touchdown.
True to form.
Running all those yards, couldn't find the last one.
I also forgot Chizik, after he got fired from Auburn, he still got $7.5 million. But he was named defensive coordinator at North Carolina the next year. His 2015 and 26 defense is ranked 96th and 63rd, respectively. He resigned.
Well, listen, there are a lot of schools.
Listen, 96 is bad, dude.
I know.
I don't think you understand, man. When 63 is the improvement, he's like, guys, I just ain't got it. Like, it's Malzahn should have that title, man. He's the head coach in my eyes, damn it.
Yeah, he's still cooking now.
And then, yeah, Cam, he wore funny clothes. You remember that? That was strike 6.
He had a lot of hats.
A lot of hats. 7.
Him and Melo both put those hats on, and people were like, "Nah, we're not fucking with you."
Ow. I think a lot of it is like watching Cam in theory is a lot more fun than in practice. Like, it's fun when he's cooking, and over the course of it, like, he gets it done. He makes the plays that need to be made. But in theory, like, in your head, you're thinking of Cam like breaking off a 40-yard run, like sneaking a couple times, and he does it when he needs to. But it's also like it's a lot of incomplete passes. Like, it was never a very accurate quarterback.
He was before he got hurt this last time.
Well, that doesn't count. He's not Matt Stafford, man. What are you even saying to me?
Yeah, no, for sure. There are going to be times he sails it the fuck over someone's head.
Yeah, and it's one of those. There it is, Withers. Tyrod Taylor missed that throw. Get him out of Buffalo. Oh, this year, you don't want to talk about this year. He completed 56% of his passes, Mick.
That guy could barely stand.
Yeah, whose fault is that?
The Patriots, ironically enough.
like the year before, played 14 games and had a career high in completion percentage by far, 68%. And it's just so wild that people think Phillip Rivers has enough in the tank left, but that guy doesn't.
No.
And one of them was available both were available, and one of them got $25 million.
And we watched that Carolina game against Tampa Bay in the office when they had the ball at like the 1 yard line or the chance to win, and he just couldn't even pull. Like he's such a large human being, and he couldn't even he didn't have enough strength and faith in his own foot to just fall forward. And they ran some bullshit ass play that did not work. And it was just like, yeah, of course he's clearly not healthy if he can't just fall forward even.
And that's it's like maybe he's done. I'll take a chance on him being done over Joe Flacco being healthy by far.
Well, it's even like if you believe in Stidham, which he could be fine. Like every time I bring up this Cam shit, everyone's like, "Why don't you believe in Stidham?" I don't believe nor disbelieve in him. He showed me nothing.
Nobody knows, yeah.
Yeah, he showed me nothing to have any opinion on him.
Right.
If he is better than Cam Newton, he'll show that. Belichick's not just going to play Jarrett Stidham because I need to prove something. If him and Cam Newton are in the same camp and one's clearly outperforming the other, he's going to go with that guy. He doesn't care who it is. So why would anyone care if Cam came in and made it a competition? If Stidham's that nice, it shouldn't matter.
It's also I get COVID, the world ending, all that has slowed down workouts, but I think the Dolphins came out after was like, yeah, no, we still found a way to work out Tua.
Right.
Of course, if a team was interested, they could have all his information. And again, maybe it's a worse than we think thing, but I'd take him over even it feels like an upside downside. The downside is he's hurt again. He's not the answer. It is what it is. You didn't pay a lot of money. You didn't give up a pick for him. The upside is not even MVP for him, but if he can get back to just the year ago form, career high completion percentage for him, that upside feels tremendous for what it takes to give him.
We're not talking about the Bears or I don't know who are these other teams that were looking for quarterbacks. We're talking about Bill Belichick.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get him with a healthy Cam Newton. We already know the defense is top 5. You know what I mean? Are the receivers the best? No. The running back stable is very good. The line's fine. So you put Cam Newton there. He made a Super Bowl with mid receivers before and not as good of a defense as this.
Or coach.
Right. So it's I don't know what I'm missing. Other than the fact that he types weird.
He beat Bama, yeah.
He did, yes.
No, even with the Bears, yeah, exactly. We're not saying we're giving up on Trubisky. We're saying we want to give him a little competition. A 4th rounder and taking on Foles' contract,
right?
Or just signing Cam. Foles was out. I'm sure he's healthy by now. He missed some time with injury too, and I think he came back at the end and just got his job taken. So. And teams were like, yes, no, a 4th rounder, absolutely. I don't. It must be he's sending in workout tapes to team. And he can't stand up. It's
pulling the wrong ball entirely.
No, it's just it's only footage above the waist, like FDR.
Why does he got that blankie with him?
He just thrown and it just smash cut to the ball, just sailing 60 yards. And he's like, no, I'm clearly fine.
Jamarcus Russell on one knee coming out of LSU.
Yeah. It's why won't he show his legs?
But I've seen videos of him lifting and shit, using his legs no less. Obviously not the whole story, but looks fucking healthy to me.
Listen, Todd Gurley got cut because he got arthritis and found a job immediately.
Well, it's a more important position, Tyler.
For sure. And he only got $5 million. I don't know what it'd take to get that Newton fella. Again, he had injuries unless they're okay, these are degenerative things, which even then, a 1-year contract. Like,
how degenerative.
yeah. Again, let's give him one and an option. Let's see.
Yeah. I've never once been like, give Cam Newton a 7-year, $200 million deal.
Right.
No once. That would be crazy. Now, if he comes out and plays like an MVP this year and then hits free agency next year, yeah, then maybe we have that conversation. But there are a lot of steps that have to happen between now and then for that to even come up.
I'll say this. I'll believe in any quarterback rehabilitation after Michael Vick went to federal prison and came out and finished second in an MVP.
Well, he only did like a month, right?
Yeah, no, he was weekends, really.
Yeah.
And even it was club fed, man. He was in there like the Martha Stewart camp. This man came out of prison and got back to MVP form. So it's a thing like, hey, man, if you got it, you don't lose. Like, if you got it and you're willing to work at it, and you're put in the right situation, you don't lose that. And me, I'd much rather bet on that than anything Matt Schaub has to offer me as a backup, or is that anything?
Right. Having a backup who stinks is just punting your season if your quarterback gets hurt. And I know Justice and guys like that are now beginning to, I don't want to say now because I don't know how long they've been talking about it, if it's just something I've recently recognized, but like when the Eagles took Hurts, they were like, listen, man, if your QB2 is such a substantial drop-off from QB1 and you know QB1 can get hurt, like it doesn't matter if you're injury prone or not. Doesn't like Mahomes wasn't injury prone when he got hurt.
I was gonna say, yeah, everybody's injury prone in the NFL, man. That's just violent. Yeah.
And like Wentz is one who will take a risk. So like I would say he is injury prone. So if your QB2 fucking stinks, and Philadelphia knows more than anyone, they won a Super Bowl because their QB2 wasn't a huge drop off at the time. Yeah. So
and they know they can coach up a guy. It's like, yeah, no, we can get him to 80% of that on the fly, pretty much. So
taking Jalen Hurts in the second round makes sense. I understand people were furious. He's not a wide receiver, this, that, and the third. Like, yeah, I get it. But if you're telling me no, we already have a Super Bowl roster, but if our quarterback gets hurt and we're throwing out fucking some dickhead like Matt Barkley, then it isn't. Then yeah, taking that guy to have that insurance is worth something.
Yeah, see that, and again, that makes a lot more sense to me than Jordan Love,
right?
Because even then, it's like for the same exact thing. It's like, okay, but if Rodgers gets fucked now, I get he's supposed to be the heir apparent, but if Rodgers breaks his collarbone again right now, is Jordan
right?
Is he's hopefully, and again, maybe he will. Like guys are coming in contributing really fast, so hopefully. Sure. But I'm looking just at the quarterback depth chart now, and it feels like if you're Peyton Manning, where Peyton Manning knew to just fall before he ever got hit. Yeah, it probably don't make sense to take a second round quarterback. Right. You're just wasting an asset. Get him a receiver. Get him a lineman.
Right.
But yeah, Wentz, if you know he's like, hey, 10 to 13 games is what you got, but when he plays, he's nice. We'll plan for the other 3. Like Fitzpatrick. That's a fine backup option.
Yeah.
Matt Barkley. If Josh Allen goes out and Matt Barkley comes in, a good bit of Josh Allen's value is running around.
Yeah.
So Davis Webb and Jake Fromm are after him, so that's cool. Jacoby Brissett, forgot about still making money. Glennon. Logan Woodside is the backup quarterback for the Titans.
I have no idea who that is.
Chad. Yeah, I don't. And again, maybe he's good. This will come hey, man, I went to Logan Woodside's high school. Why are you slandering Logan Woodside? It's not slander. But I did not know that Chad Henne was still in the league.
Oh, yeah. Matt Chubb's put 17 years on the board. And Chase Daniels put, I think, 12 on the board.
And that guy's bad, man. We publicly saw, and again, Matt Schaub was good, had a run for sure. He lost it like a closer, and he just still, people are like, no, just in case we want to see him stink some more. With what, if I'm Matt Ryan, I'm disrespected. I feel disrespected that Matt Schaub. You think if I get hurt, this guy's coming in and picking up what I do? Like, you think if everything breaks right, he could win an MVP? Okay. But
I think most teams don't think that way. I think they think like, oh yeah, if that guy plays, we're fucked. So don't get hurt.
yeah, and for the I'm trying to think, what was that his last year? That last year in Houston where he just could not stop throwing pick sixes was 2013, Mick.
Refused to stop throwing pick sixes.
And he's been in the league every year since except 2017 for some reason. Which
they showed up to that man's house because he was throwing so many pick sixes.
That's the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen.
They were like, listen, calling into the radio.
Yeah.
We need to tell you to your face. You fucking stink.
Like we're not gonna tag your car or nothing. I want to tell you eye to eye. You're bad.
Just as a man.
As a man, you're bad. And man, y'all a better man than I. Somebody come. You can tell me I stink. Don't come to my house, man. Don't come to my house and tell me.
A letter.
Yeah, tweet it at me like everybody else. Like don't come to my house. He in Texas, man. He could have just shot through the door, and it would have been like perfectly just. They would have been like, "What's the problem?"
That's the law.
Yeah, we would take him to jail if he didn't shoot with the shotgun.
The podcast I was talking about, Two Bears, One Cave, that I was listening to. It's Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, two unreal stand-up comedians. And they were talking about when all of LA marched on the mayor's house. And they were like, can you imagine you just get a ring at the doorbell and you open it and it's 30,000 people?
I'd be sick, dog.
Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do in that situation?
It's like, honey, I'm gonna put some coffee on. I'm gonna put some Death Wish coffee on because we're not getting no sleep tonight, babe.
No, it's handed out amongst the crowd.
Like, what can I do to get 30,000 people to go home? What kind of compromise can we make?
Do the people at the back even hear the compromise?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they just move to the front and I have to keep doing this over and over again.
Like, listen, can y'all pick, I don't know, your best 10,000 of you all? You all move to the foreground and we'll talk this out.
Can you please? I just had those plants put in. Can you just a little to the left?
You're standing on my daughter. Can you not stand on my daughter, please?
They're like, no. What are you gonna do? There's 30,000.
Yeah, and he's like, listen, you got me by the balls, guys. Like, tell me what you like. What?
In all my years of mayoring, I never anticipated you would march on my home.
Listen, I have no choice but to comply. So, like,
I cannot back my car out of the driveway.
Man, he's like, I kill to be in Mayor Pete's shoes now. He got to walk away from 30,000.
He had to go downtown. They brought downtown to me.
Man, listen, if somebody knocked on the door and I opened it, and it was like, it's just 5 people you don't know. I'm like, what the fuck is like, you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? One person might one person might come to the wrong door. 2, okay. 3, feasible. 4, it's happened to us all. But 5 people at my door? I don't even want to hear what y'all got to say. Yeah. It's bad news. I feel like if 5 people, they're holding like a folded flag ready to give to me. Like it's that kind of bad news. So what's 30,000 divided by 5?
They don't even send 5 to do that chore. That's like 2. Yeah, 5 is like, I think you guys got the wrong door, fellas. Like, nah, we don't.
No, we're waiting on you. And there's a 29,995 more of us downstairs.
Yeah, the elevator is can only fit 5 at a time.
We're walking in one by one. I don't know what he had to say to get them to leave, but that's some Black Mirror shit. Like, can I fuck a pig or something and y'all go away? Like, if I really do it, will y'all leave my house? Please?
Yeah, I don't know what. That's like if Fenway Park showed up to your front door, just 36,000 strong. Just like, yep.
Like, yeah, think about like the let out of a game, like people standing around. That's like 500 people. Like at like a particular exit or like on a corner, like going into even the people going into the bars or whatever. It ain't 30,000. It's like, yeah. Now we're going to your house now. After the game spot is your house.
Yeah, the Boston Garden.
We're all coming. Yeah.
Holds a smooth like 17-5. So about half.
Yeah, now I'm like, no, we're done watching the Braves play the Phillies. And now we're coming to your house. All of us.
Even Timmy.
Nah, he's like, we've got wheelchair accessible because everybody in the city is here.
Just terrifying.
What if Mayor Pete like tripped over his shoelace? Like what if,
I think he takes his own life in front of all. Like, there's no coming back from. It's already tough enough. And I don't mean he goes home and takes his own life. I mean like right then and there.
I think he just keeps falling. He just don't even try to save himself. He just goes face first.
Like Derulo down the steps.
This man fell at the mayoral election. Met Gala. Yeah, his fly was unzipped or something like that. Something that what would make it even more embarrassing.
Steps on a rake, hits him in the face. Yeah, I think that's one of those things where like have you ever been driving and then like you just go like this and you're like, oh shit, I just went like 5 miles without really like paying attention to it. Like I think that's one of those things like he got home and he's like, I don't remember how I got home, but I know I'm here now. Like his body, he was on autopilot. Like you don't trip when you're on autopilot. Like you're just there.
Yeah, it's like human shutdown response.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably drove his car home, like probably obeyed all the rules. He's like, but I do not remember getting in my car. Like I'm home. I parked perfectly in the drive. My keys are in the bowl by the door. I don't remember getting home.
His brain shut off the second she started asking that question. That's when he'll never remember. He's like, oh, I thought I said yes, I'll defund the police. Like, no, you walked home tail tucked.
Now his brain was on at first because he had to give like the safe and the one that always gets him out of it.
Yeah.
But if you're the old Patrice bit, he's like when cool wasn't getting me out of it. I was arguing with my girl. And he was like, yeah, once you realize cool's not getting you out of it, you done. You got these old boots. What I'm supposed to do? Just throw the boots out or something? Those boots don't have nightmares, motherfucker. What a bad person.
Terrible. Tom Cotton.
Send in the boots, please.
Man. So yeah, it was the Boston Globe or Herald, one of them, I can't remember which one, wrote like now is the perfect time for the Patriots to sign Colin Kaepernick. You don't get the fuck out of here with articles like that. You don't shut your dumb shit the fuck up.
Now, y'all, he's not gonna get a job, man.
No.
Like it is what it is. And
you get the jail time.
Hey, listen, if Vic's like, hey, I mean, how bad you trying to get back into the league, my guy? I still got some property.
Yeah, Cap's. I mean, if Cam Newton can't get a job, I have no idea why anyone thinks Cap would get one.
Like, boy, the people that hate Mike Vick are much more vocal about it, but it might be a larger percentage of the people that just dislike Cam. Right.
It's not there are the Brandon Walkers of the world who hate Cam Newton.
Right.
I don't know as many people who like hate him like they hated Vic.
Yeah, their hate is much more intense.
If we interviewed Cam Newton, our coworkers wouldn't be looking at us weird.
Hey, that's on them.
For sure.
They should be. They're like, how the hell did they get Cam Newton?
He's pretty free these days. Not much going on.
He's just the third to Mickstape now.
Cam, like that, he has so many things that stand out to me as cool that I guess other people just don't see. Like when he was getting in like a horrible car accident a week and just like walking away and then winning that Sunday.
That's kind of the reason why it's like this is the guy we think is washed up and done.
Right.
Like Teddy Bridgewater's leg fell off his body. Right. He bounced. Like, I'm so happy to hear. I'm so glad that he got 60 million. But the guy who like was in a car wreck and the guy who they've shown taken so many more hits, many of them illegal, than anybody else, and still like this is the guy. It's like, oh no, he's done. He's one of those guys, like I won't. If it like Steve McNair, it's like Steve McNair doubtful every single week,
right?
Or like legit injury. It's like no, his ribs are really broken, but until he physically showed like he just cannot do it anymore. And those 2 games we saw, I'm not buying it.
No,
yeah.
Like if he had stunk the year before too, it'd be
entire year,
yeah, completely different conversation. But that's not what happened. Quite the opposite happened.
Like Andy Dalton was healthy and wasn't good.
Correct.
He got a job real quick. So,
and I think he's a fine backup option.
Yeah, he's a guy like. Yeah, if Dak goes down, it's like, okay, we coached up a 4th rounder Dak. We think we can get him into a decent enough spot.
Yeah.
To still win games.
Yeah.
Which is the best, or take over for a month at worst. At absolute, I feel like I don't even know if Dak's missed a game. He feels like a very durable guy.
Super durable.
Except in Panama, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do it. Yeah.
Someone said, was it you? Someone said that they were time travelers who were from 2020 and went back in time to give him that ass whooping.
No, it wasn't me, but it was me. Yeah, no.
Someone was like, yeah, they saw that bullshit he was doing now and decided to go back to spring break when they knew they could catch him lacking.
Man, and boy, did they. Fly ball, like called him.
It would explain why they were wearing like Timbs on the beach, you know?
Man, they stopped the nipples off his chest, man. Dak's chest was raw like ground beef. That's all. And they didn't even take his the watch on his wrist. That's how they just wanted to whoop it. It wasn't even like we caught you slipping. No.
Yeah.
So we just want to step on you a little bit. That's it.
What did that guy say? Your DNA will be under my shoe.
I'll put you in concrete. Yeah. And that guy's like a top 10 quarterback now. That's wild, man. So don't tell me what a guy can't come back from.
Right.
Vic came back from prison. Dak came back from worse. But Cam can't beat a bum shoulder, man. A bad ankle.
Would you rather be Dak? Like you get transported into their body. Dak the second before he catches that beating, or Mayor Pete the second before he gets booed.
Dak 100%. Those physical wounds, like it's Dak. He don't look into the mirror and see that anymore. Like you know what I'm saying. I don't know if Mayor Pete will ever be able to look.
I don't know, man. He just gave a lot of money to the police. I feel like he still feels like he needs a lot of protection.
If they're gonna build a time machine with that million,
we don't know what it's going towards. Maybe that he's like, listen,
those bow ties are actually like Inspector Gadget shit. Like they shoot out knives. His cologne is mist that blinds his opponent. It's like, they catch me slipping ever again.
Yeah, I think we're onto something here. I think he's very afraid.
What would you rather be, Dak or Mayor Pete? Listen, it was multiple of them. Hey, man, sometimes you just take an L. It is what it is.
For sure. Listen, it was multiple booers.
30,000.
That's the thing. Like he Like he'll go into like accounting or some shit. Like we'll never hear of that guy again. Like he'll just live his quiet life, I assume. Dak will, every time he catches a bad loss on national television, I see that picture.
Yeah, but it's one of those things like Dak's two options for this season are signing for $170 million or signing for 1 year 30 guaranteed.
For sure.
After making like minimum wage for 4 years. So after a while, now again, it's still in the back of his head, of course. In the front of his head, the top of his head, his chest, like wherever they was putting them boot marks. But nah, I think that Mayor Pete, it's
tough. It's unprecedented. It's like we've seen ass whooping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like getting dunked on. Like you don't want to get dunked on, but happens to the best of us. I jumped. I shouldn't have jumped.
Yeah,
I did this. But Mayor, he can't watch an athlete get booed at a game. He can't like watch a movie where somebody get booed. He can't watch a short white man get asked any kind of question.
He can't. I mean, Halloween with the amount of ghosts at that time of year.
Mayor Pete Darnold. Darnold's like, I saw ghosts. Your people was real. Like,
poor actual Mayor Pete, by the way. I don't feel like he deserves to get lumped in with this guy.
With Sam Darnold? No, for sure.
Yeah, he had some bad ideas. He never got booed out of his own town for those ideas.
That's right. The team, like, you know how long it take, like, to even become a mayor?
Apparently this guy, like, he filled out a form of some sort.
Yeah, but even it's one of those things, like, even if you know, like, when you're 12, it's like, you know you want to be the governor when you're 2. So you have to start when you're 3. Like, that's how long the shit take. And he got it. And he was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, he was a class president.
Yeah.
Some Boy Scout, like all that shit.
City council, all that. Alderman, all that shit. In his 20s. And he's like, I did it. I got it. And if you're mayor before like 35, you want to be president. Like,
right.
Which is fine. Like, somebody got to be it. So unless we get that out of here too. Yeah.
This dude
eliminate democracy. Yeah.
Yeah, this dude can't be anything ever again.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's a career politician. What he can't, if he go be accountant, he can't. He's poli-sci and philosophy. What's he gonna do? Live in a box?
Well, listen, maybe if the education system were set up a little bit better, he'd be a little bit more well-rounded.
Grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, and this is what happens. You get booed and have to walk right back across those same tracks because you can't get to your car. You think they just let him get to his car and like drive home too? Okay, come on, man. It was one of those like
at every red light just
he stopped and get something for like
the drive through.
They just backed up. Oops. I couldn't. They just boo him as he drives away.
Yeah, like through the talk box and boo.
They take his order like normal, but they all know who it is. And as soon as he gets to the first window, every employee and customer is at the drive-through window for some reason, ready to boo him. And then the second window, they just give him his food like normal, but they're still just booing him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, sorry, Carol, you have to play this one straight. The rest of us are going to boo. You have to hand him his food. It's only right.
So I drew the pickled egg. I lost here.
So you get one boo. After he takes the food, you can boo once.
And they're like, okay, more than fair. Like he got to get a new car because ain't nobody letting him over in traffic now. Like, mayor, you're not far enough away to be that kind of boo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Trump could get booed like that. No, he's too far away from that. Mayor? Oh, no. You're
very reachable.
Listen, the mayor, like, live on your block. That's what, like, the mayor might live the governor might live in your city, like, on the real nice street.
Yeah.
Above that, you're not getting close to those senators. But mayor, no, it's like, oh no, that's his house right there. That's mayor. That's him right there. Yeah.
Would you rather, again, much like the Dak hypothetical,
Get my ass whooped or what?
we're gonna stay in Dallas too.
Oh,
Would you rather be President John F. Kennedy taking a cruise with his lady,
chill.
Mayor Pete?
Things unfold the same way they did in Dallas or differently?
The very same, Tess.
I gotta say, it's one of those things because we've all seen the very slow frames, like slowest motion. Thanks, Darren Ravel. The time in between the first and second shot, it probably seemed like an eternity.
Yeah.
But Mayor Pete was like, he's like, I have to like get through this crowd. I've got to get to my car. I left my keys in my office. I have to go. Like, why didn't I bring the keys? Why didn't I just bring the bag with me?
I can't call an Uber. Traffic's a nightmare.
Yeah. JFK's, listen, as quiet as it's kept. The time between shot 1 and 2, it was like, oh shit, this hurts really. Mayor Pete, he wasn't even like up the steps yet.
Yeah, he didn't hit the curb yet.
Like if after that first thing in Dallas, people immediately started flicking off JFK.
Get him.
Like that was the last thing he saw. He was like, this was such a nice day. Why? How could this happen?
Everything changed so abruptly.
Man, listen, if Leo was a better shot, man.
There was also like on the other side, like there was nothing for JFK to do.
Yep.
I'd argue there's also nothing for Mayor Pete to do. He's done just the same.
But it's also, again, if the first shot, if he was a better shot, what's better than not even seeing it coming? You know what I'm saying? Like if you got to go out, you know what I mean? Mayor Pete had to, like, again, when she was passing the mic back and forth, that was the first shot. He had to die that entire time. And he had to know he was dying and know he couldn't do nothing. Again, JFK, he had that for.
I like that I can type Mayor booed and something comes up.
Like that's the most Parks and Recreation shit I've ever seen.
All the way down to the comically young mayor.
I would love it. You know how happy it would make me if Parks and Rec becomes like the next Simpsons, like just predicting wild shit.
Yeah.
Over the office, that'd be very funny. Oh, look at Petey boy.
Wow.
I think that should be the new background, Mayor Pete just walking off.
It's important that we actually hear this. It's important that we hear this because if you don't know, he's up for re-election next year.
Get his ass.
He's like, someone shoot me for the love of God.
This is the first shot. This is where he realized I'm not making out of this alive.
He's so surrounded by people.
Like it's one of those. No, talk louder, Pete. Look at the immediate thumbs down. Look at him. Look at him. They turned on me.
He's like, jeez. They did clear a nice path for him.
Wait, who the hell was Mayor Pete? I thought his name was Pete this entire time. I forgot.
No, that's what I was saying. That's a different guy. I thought you were just saying like all white mayors are Mayor Pete.
Look, oh, this is the longest walk ever. Look at that! Look at that guy. Yeah, just stupid ass out of here. Short ass sleeves. Like they just roasting him. Mayor Jacob Pete.
Jacob Frey.
Oh man. Yeah, see, that was a different angle. The angle also, it was like a
Yeah, it's further away.
yeah. That's where you can really see like the devastation.
Where's that video? Here's Mayor booed. Here's
Hey, it was all good. It was all good just a week ago, man.
He'd give anything to go back to that day.
He's like, I did that. I did my little kneel and cry at George Floyd's coffin. The cameras caught that. I'm gonna go talk to my constituents. They'll love me. That's where they start giving him the finger, man. That's just so funny, dog.
You don't even look at him. He's like, fuck on. Yeah. Shame.
That's so many people, dog.
It's far too many people.
Like, why did I park so far back? I would love the camera to just be past like Snake, like just so we could see the back of his head. Like he's not even halfway done.
No, he's looking for an alley. He's like, why did I fund all the alleys?
Yeah, somebody snapped when they like giving the finger. Giving the finger is timeless.
Yeah. It just says so much without saying anything at all.
It like you can throw it up so hard too. Like you bring it back from here and throw it up.
Who do you think gave the best middle finger of all time?
Oof. It might be the first dude on the right in that Mayor Pete video.
And his was just kind of up. Like when here he is, Ice Down.
12-year-old Ben Wyatt.
How can I not find that first video? It was everywhere the other day. Mayor booed, apparently. Well, I think Eminem truly gives the best middle finger of like his has so much hatred in it.
Yeah. I gotta say, like the picture of Johnny Cash flicking a mean one. That was a good
strong.
That's a strong bird. But boy, yeah, somebody's like, I gotta show how much I don't like you at all. Like he can't hear me. I want to say fuck you, but he can't hear me, so I need a hand motion so I can get that across.
Oh, here it is.
Things that I know there needs to be deep-seated structural reform in terms of how the department operates. The systemic
fuck you.
It's cool not getting them out of it, man.
Yeah, they're like, we know.
Everything from the union contract to the way that the arbitration functions to the way that the officers and the culture of the department behaves.
Listen, you gotta. I'm sure that's the technically right answer. You gotta read the room, man. That ain't the answer they want to hear right now.
There's never been an easier room to read.
They don't want to hear the per law sanction B citation for.
Will you commit to defunding Minneapolis Police Department? What did I say? We don't want no more police.
Get his ass.
We don't want people with guns toting around in our community, shooting us down.
Just like Hulk, 86 Hogan. Before that other stuff, yeah, you know what I mean.
Right, be quiet, y'all.
Yeah,
Be
she
quiet,
she got the crowd in her
It's important
palm.
that we actually hear this. It's important that we hear this because if y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year.
He saved the. That's a pro's pro.
If y'all
Yeah.
don't know, he's up for re-election next year. And if he says no, guess what the fuck we gonna do?
Yeah, he's like, literally no one else could have got the bullhorn today.
Right. Why did we agree to give one citizen the bullhorn a day every day of the year? That's one of those. Look, no matter what he said, it didn't sound like yes.
No, it sure didn't.
Somebody snapped on that one too. People getting better, moving around to get better angle of it. That's tough. He's walking to the Red Sea, man.
credit to the guy who started the shame chant to overtake that force chant.
It was a seamless transition, though. That's why the energy of the people is good. I like Minneapolis now.
Developing tonight, protesters boo Minneapolis mayor out of rally.
Boy, they was not about to let Jack Harlow get out of there. I'll tell you this. Jack Harlow would have read the room.
Without question. He would have dropped a solid 16, and that place would have been appeased.
Mate. Say a dumbass look. Oh, my God.
Legs aren't moving correct. Like it's...
Boy, them the worst pants I've ever seen. Not my mayor. If I see my mayor out dressed like that, no, sir. I'll be at the polls.
You know that meme I know you do of the skeleton coming down for the juice?
Yeah. Damn, I wish I had some juicy juice. Yeah.
That's how he came down the stairs.
Man, oh man.
He's exhausted. He's gassed.
Ed, like every single step pains him. Like he danced.
Mind's telling him to do something, and his body's disagreeing. Like you know,
like, he dancing on 2 torn Achilles. Like that's the type of like pain and ginger in that step. That's in his step.
He went a full ice bath after this.
Them 992s. Boy, yeah, he just got he's like, I need another mayor to get booed, so I'm not the first Google search.
Yeah, it looks like they booed de Blasio, but de Blasio feels like he's used to a booing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, you can't have those boyish good looks.
I do wish just one can of beans came in and just duffed him on the head. Just one. Like not everyone starts throwing stuff, but just one.
Yeah, now someone has a tomato for some reason.
They got Francisco Liriano in the crowd, and he just duffs him with a smooth.
Right between the shoulder blades. Oh man, they didn't put side swipe on him. Dancing this dumbass, and he was gonna have that kente cloth on too. If they didn't get his ass out of here first.
I still can't believe that happened.
We're really at we're at a point right now where we legit can't tell like what's real or fake.
No, we sure can't.
Imagine, and I don't even know, like 50 years, when people are so good at Photoshop, like, and they're incredible now, but I was like, when it's more widespread, I feel like it's going to be like a basic tool. Like everyone will know how to do expert level, intermediate level Photoshop.
Oh yeah.
And it's, I don't know what's real. Like looking back in time, if a picture happened in like 1940, it was some shit that was happening and was supposed to be captured forever.
Right.
We each have like
outside of Russia.
Yeah. Moments of word. Every single one of us have like 10,000 memes in our phone. If people find some of these pictures like later on, they'll be like, "What?" They're not gonna know like what real who really played for the Lakers. Like they like apparently there was a 1-team league 1,000 years ago. The yellow team was very good. They had all of the best players.
Literally every play. Oh yeah, they're gonna find the one with like Jordans in it, like every.
Yeah, no, okay, we know the Jumpman sign, so he was a Laker. I got it. Okay. Like, oh man.
Someone, I can't remember if it was a one-off tweet or it was a full thread, but someone was like, I want to write a movie where civilization's destroyed, and 1,000 years from now, the only remains of humanity are every episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. And they have to piece together what was happening based on that.
That's a good. That's a show that gets 8-9 seasons easy.
Oh, You talk about it's like everyone was ripped. Apparently, everyone was just yoked.
Civilization was in tremendous shape. Everyone prayed to their overlords. Death Wish Coffee. They were apparently the only company in the world.
Yeah, that you talk about a premise.
What if they had to do it from this show? Yikes.
They would be like cereal was the only form of food. That's how they survived.
When Mussolini played for the Knicks, I understand.
That's meant nothing. That much. Jaylen Brown was apparently some sort of sentient trash can.
Yeah, one of the guys played for every single team ever.
The other guy had some sort of vendetta against Jerry West. I don't know who that is.
He played for the yellow team. No, we saw him in the picture.
Running backs were some sort of evil tribe. That one of them
a plague.
Stand, a pox on humanity.
We've gathered that as leprosy fell, running backs rose. Similar level of public disapproval.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett was a god amongst men.
And 40 bars, this is the only song they ever had. We like it.
There was much disagreement about Marcus Smart in Flower Mound, Texas.
No, don't say that. He's from Flower Mound, you know.
Yeah, that was the only disagreement on Earth.
Yeah.
Whether or not Flower Mound was with the shits.
Yeah, no, it's Compton, it's Flower Mound, it's Yugoslavia, Bosnia, it's those four. Yeah, apparently there's a really good guy in the record books they won't acknowledge at all. He's got like 35,000 points, 20,000 rebounds, but we can't piece together his name. Like,
never once talked about him. Yeah, no, it'd be tough.
Would it be any more or less believable than some of the shit already written in history?
We try and get it right, at least.
Speak for yourself, Mac.
We don't have much of a dog in the whole history is written by. That's the funny thing. They tell us up front, history is written by the people who won. Like, they're telling you very clearly, like, this shit is slanted. And then they're like, chapter 1. Like, why even? What?
If your entire education was based on the documentaries that your teacher decided to show you,
right.
I'm going to tell you why those government fat cats should all be killed. And after that, we're going to watch Zeitgeist.
I mean, honest to God, 9/11 happened my second day of 7th grade. By the time I was in, it was either 10th or 11th grade, one of our teachers showed us over the course of 3 classes the documentary. For the people listening, not watching on YouTube, I did the air quotes.
Sure.
Loose Change.
Oh, yeah. Again, if that was just somebody.
That was a good teacher, by the way. He just got a little over his skis that day.
Yeah, if it was just like that, no, we don't have any more textbooks. I'm just going to show you the documentaries that I like. I'm going to show you The Last Dance. Michael Jordan was the only player that ever mattered.
Points were made.
Listen, that's damn near that's the textbook now. Like, if you think of every textbook you ever had as The Last Dance, like, yeah, listen, even the stuff they put in there to make them look bad makes them look good. That's how this works when the winner writes the story.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Winston Churchill discourse today.
Yeah, they was hitting them with some this you.
It sure were. Yeah, because a lot of people, how dare you deface his statue? And I was like, well, this is all the shit he did. That
I hope there ain't no Gandhi statues around.
They were getting the business, and I didn't see anyone defending that, which is tough. You talk about a fall from grace.
That's one of those, the only people who are defending it is like, they don't know yet.
Right.
That's one of those everybody finds out. And when you find out, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, why was this guy ever deified?
Yeah, no, it was they graded on the curve until like last week.
Listen, I've seen people come for Lincoln And I get he wasn't perfect, but boy, oh boy, if
He canceled, dude.
someone deserves a slight pass, I think it's Lincoln.
He deserved what he got during that play. Some would say.
I've honestly got to see people be like, he wasn't progressive enough. It was like he did. He had one motion that I think should give him a bit of a pass.
Nah, he was basically freeing people in Canada. He was talking some shit that he didn't have no power over. It sounds nice, but yeah, he can go too.
That's one person I didn't expect.
He's canceled. We don't spend $5 bills no more. He's canceled.
Pennies.
Yeah. Boy's on 2 money. He's out of here.
He'd be sick if he saw himself with a copper face like that.
Somebody else was like, "What are we gonna do? Go back and cancel?" He's like, "You gonna tell me George Washington was problematic?" People are like, y'all didn't learn anything at all, boy."
No, it was crazy. I can't remember. I think it was during Ferguson. I remember just being at dinner with my parents and being like, yeah, really nothing's changed since Emmett Till. And they had no idea who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, not a clue. And they're obviously older. Like, it happened probably when they were young kids. I'm sure it wasn't talked about by the time they were in high school. But that was like crazy to me, just with how, this is a terrible turn of phrase, but he's like the face of that movement.
Yeah. Like, I remember I knew about that. Yeah. No, what'd you say?
I was just saying it's how Chappelle like ends that special when he's talking about that being the spark of the revolution.
Yeah. And maybe that's, it's looking like the George Floyd video was too. Like, every once in a while we get a horrible reminder. And I know shit went up, but even then it was like the Emmett Till, like that, it didn't stop in the slightest. So that's why, like, anybody that's still hesitant right now is understandably so. Hopefully we're making some type of steps, because I'm gonna have to ask my old man, like, when's the first time he heard about it? Because I bet that Emmett Till story was drilled into him from the time. Like, listen, you don't do this because this happened and this could happen to you.
The whistling was banned in his household.
Yeah, like, that's just the way shit went. You don't want to be on no side. Like, there's no room for misinterpretation there. They weren't trying to hear Emmett Till's side out.
Emmett Till didn't even whistle.
Listen, that's another one. Who writes the history books? They're like, oh yeah, no, he said something very offensive, except for the lady finally admitted on her deathbed that he didn't. Tremendous. Thanks a lot, bitch.
Cowardice. The ultimate coward. Maybe of all time. She deserves to be resurrected and put in Mayor Pete's place to be booed out of town.
Yeah, we need some historic booings, man. Like, that's what we need the technology for. Listen, we get some of this police defunded, put it into technology, daddy. Oh man, come on. We have a time machine by August.
Man.
They just bring back Hitler. He's right to the last second. He holding the gun. He's like, "No, I thought I made it out." Boo! Yeah. Take the gun. They twist it like a pretzel, like Superman, and just throw it out the window. You got to walk back to the bunker. He's like, "Oh yeah, the Times will hear about this."
Let me dip the quill.
No, I'm all for historical booing.
Oh yeah, have to.
Big fan. Then they immediately die again.
Right. You get your booing. You're terrified of the technology that brought you back to life. You get booed and then dead again. Bang.
Yeah, that would be even. Yeah, like, imagine you just wake up as you were and your casket closed, and you got to make that long walk, and people are just booing. One, you'd be like, that. Colors didn't even look like this. We're like, what? Historical point, yeah.
Yes, and we need that many. Like, It's either going to be one person or that large crowd of people.
I gotta go crowd, man.
For sure. But I'm saying it can't be like 7 people. Like,
Oh, no. Yeah, some nice historical booings. Jim Jones, he just wake up, he like, that Kool-Aid didn't work. Boo! And they just get his ass. He's like, well, they used to love me. All these people, and nope, not anymore, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, we could get some big time boos out.
I don't think anyone have an issue with this. Would anyone be opposed? Would you rather have the police have $6 billion or have some historical booing? Like take a side, pick a stance.
Time to be fence riding. We need.
Yeah. Because if you can look yourself in the eye and say you wouldn't want a historical booing, I don't need you in my life.
To be quite honest, like I don't even know if we need to dip into historical booings yet. Like there's plenty of people who we can give some real time booings to.
Yeah.
John Rocker, boo.
Like 30,000 people show up to R. Kelly's jail cell and just boo him.
Yeah, Cosby needs a booing.
Oh yeah, that'd break his old heart. A shame.
All of our pants slightly sagged. And we boo the fuck out of him.
Yeah, that's what he can't believe. He don't even hear it. I went into a rage. I saw pants below waist. I saw pound cake. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, big time. But happy birthday, Allen Iverson.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Prince.
Yes.
I don't think I realized till this year they had the same birthday.
Same. That's another one of those. I was like, this can't be the first time it was tweeted because I know every year when Iverson's birthday is tweeted, and I feel like I know every year when Prince's birthday is tweeted. This is one of those, like, I thought we just had National Pound Cake Day.
Pizza Day, yeah.
Yeah, like another national don't. Like, I'm not complaining, but we just had one in March and also May.
Yeah, I was like, certainly this is wrong. One, I had to look both up separately, despite the fact that I saw it tweeted from like multiple accounts that don't ever cross over. Right. And I was just like, no, this is something I would know. Like, I might not remember the exact date.
Right.
Reminder, but I would know that it was the same day. Nope, didn't know that.
Yeah, next year they'll be like, no, Stevie Wonder too. I'm like, what? No, I remember. No. They just add a person every year.
Well, it will also be the day Jakey Pete got booed.
Every generation gets one.
This I don't think this show exists without Allen Iverson.
Correct. Maybe
the lowest mark on his resume.
I was going to say, well, let's not hold it against him.
It's just, and I tweeted about it, I blogged about it. People hate Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
And I can almost understand the Cam one. Like, I don't understand it. But if I were forced to understand one of them, it would be easier for me to understand why someone hates Cam.
Well, I don't know. He was never in actual prison.
For sure. Should Iverson have been? No. Did that stop them from putting him in prison? No.
Not a chance, no.
He was just the most notable person that happened to be at that bowling alley.
What the hell I look like hitting a lady with a damn chair?
We almost would never have known Allen Iverson because of the very system we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because of racism.
If you believe in divine intervention, like that particular governor being there at that particular time, being able to pardon him that particular time, or he would just be another what if, another man, that guy was cold and nothing happened.
Yeah, whatever happened to that guy? It's like, he's on his 3rd prison sentence because he's just part of the system now.
Well, yeah, no, he definitely deserved it. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. That's how easily they can take someone's life from them.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Yeah, and you hear about the good ones, and it's like, or like I guess I can't even say good. him almost not going to jail for the rest of his life or his formative life. There's no good in that. Like, there's no.
He did what, 4 months?
Yeah, he did like some legit with like adults.
Right.
At
Oh, that's
17,
not like an adult.
yeah, which. Yeah, and if it was any other, if he was born 5 years either way, and it was like a different governor at the time, who knows? But yeah, I'm legit glad. Like, I'm sure that every generation, everybody has one, but a guy, it's like, no, the numbers didn't do him justice. Like, and even the highlights don't do him justice, because it's like to see, like, be there at that time and realize what he had to do for that offense to generate enough points to win.
Right.
And all the off court stuff was just a plus. Like, that's what drew you. That's what drew you in. The basketball kept you. Like, that was secondary.
Right.
It was like, yeah, who's this guy? He's very cool.
Extremely cool.
I think he's like legit in the running top 5 coolest person of all time.
That's why I think it's cool him and Prince have the same birthday. Just 2 profoundly cool human beings.
Who's cooler?
I give the nod to Prince begrudgingly, because that's how much I revere Allen Iverson. But I think Prince is maybe the coolest human being to have ever lived.
I don't disagree, man.
Prince is just one of those people who, it's kind of like, and he would hate this comparison, but let me explain. It's kind of like how Elvis will always be famous because there are so many representations of him in media. I feel like that about Prince too. Like, growing up, there was always, and no matter what the cartoon was, there was a famous character who was Prince.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, like, there was always that dude, even if you didn't know who Prince was yet.
Right.
Like,
or why he was there.
Right.
Yeah.
There was someone that they made to, and I feel like they'll always do that because there's just no one else to even just say like, oh yeah, he was a musician would be wildly underselling him. Yeah.
It's one of those, like, it's certain people, like, you can't quantify how much better they were than it. It's like, yeah, they like saying they were the best is like, it's not enough.
Right.
It's one of those, like, they're like, could Prince play the drums? And people are like, he's the best drummer I've ever seen. Like, he's the best guitar player I've ever seen. He's the best harmonica player I've ever, like, he's not a guy that can play them all. He's a guy that, like, mastered them all.
Right.
And can write and can sing and would rap, like,
everything.
So yeah, just had it all, man. See, the reason I was gonna say, I didn't know, like, the way he died would have an influence, but people don't even think Elvis dead. So
right. Like, that video of Prince just mopping up like every other famous guitarist on the same stage, and then throwing his guitar and walking. He was like, "Fuck all of them."
Yeah, and they were all like, "Yeah, no, fuck us." Like,
what are we to do? I know you see me up. It's the same instrument. I don't know what he's doing to it.
Yeah, but it's like, a lot of people master a lot of instruments. It's like he had that, and it was also like, hey man, he walked into the club, and everybody's like, man, who the guy, man? What's this guy got on all it? And he walks out, and it's like, why is everybody following that guy? Yeah. Why is he so cool? Why? Like, he didn't take a sip of alcohol. He doesn't believe in that stuff. And every woman is trying to get in this boo. Every guy is trying to get a picture with him, try to get an Instagram shout out with Prince.
Prince's Instagram would have been wild.
I feel like his Instagram would have been whack. His Instagram close friends, that's where the money would have been at.
Well, it's like, because like we see so many artists, like, it's like, oh, we know he's coming out with an album. He deleted everything and he posted like things. Like, he wouldn't have been on there every day, but when he posted, it would have been like, what is this even a picture of? Like, what?
Maybe it was something had me thinking. I was like, I can't. Like, him changing his name to a symbol was so wild. Like, I don't even know if there's anybody that could pull it off right now. Like, I really don't. And people to go along with it.
I feel like Diddy tries pretty frequently.
Yeah. And even like, it's like, all right, we'll give you one or two name switches. But if he was like, just call me this unpronounceable symbol, they'd be like, fuck you, Sean. Like, you're just back to Sean now. You lost it all. You went for too much.
Yeah, like think of how many people have tried to give themselves nicknames. Kobe did it, whack.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade did it, wackest of them all. Jay-Z tried to like just coin his own color, and people were like, "Will you just shut the fuck up, old man?"
Yeah, it's royal. Like it's already been invented. Thanks a lot, Marge Simpson. But yeah, no, he was like, "No, this is a symbol," and it's one of those like, okay, I don't know what that is, but one, it's cold, and now two, every time I see it, I'm gonna think of Prince. So work like a charm. The artist formerly known as Prince is fire.
Yeah. Well, it's like I feel like Thug when he was calling himself Sex for a while, and people were like, "I guess, man, if this is what you want to do, sure, we'll ride with it, but we're not buying all the way in."
Right? Yeah, I thought it was Jeffrey. Like, well, you just told us it was like,
yeah.
He was like, no,
it was like a decree when he said it. He was like, "This is just what it is now. I don't."
No, he's like,
my call.
He's like, I say fuck the man so much, y'all can't even call me that name anymore. Prince, yeah, he be Playboy Cardi, like just dropping random tape. Like, y'all see a new EP from Prince dropped? He's like, yeah, there's something I was just working on today.
Yeah.
It's just six of the best songs you've ever heard. He's like, yeah, I was just playing around. And then he deletes it in a week. He's like, I didn't like it. It sounds so dated. I hate it. It's so bad.
Yeah, I'm like, it kills me that there's that vault of music that shouldn't come out because it says but if he wanted us to hear it, he would have put it out. It's that simple.
It'll be out.
It will.
I think like it's one of those will the world be a better place for that music being put out? Probably. But it's also the man who created it clearly against. It's not even like, well, he put it out. We didn't know if he wanted us to put it out. We think his fans would enjoy it. No, he had a side on this. And yeah, no, it's probably all available right now.
Prince was also extremely with the shits.
Yeah.
Extremely. He'd show up. He was like, oh, Michael Jackson's performing there? I'll give him 10 minutes.
Bet, yeah. Y'all let me know what instrument he's going to play. Because I'm going to play 6 of them.
All right, cool.
Yeah, he chose to dance. I mastered the harpsichord. You tell me who's more.
I built a new instrument. No one else can play it.
It's called a cymbal, and everyone's like, yes, it is, Prince.
Just so goddamn cool.
That's a great basketball player. Like,
Prince is so cool. Like, Dave Chappelle helped build his own reputation by having someone else tell stories about him.
About how cool he was, yeah.
Right.
And it worked because everybody was like, no, listen. It all happened. Like he was
literally flying, and it's true.
Listen, the crepes were delicious. Very cool. He was like with the shits publicly, but also it's those stories like he'd find like majority Black-owned libraries in towns and just keep funding them just for use out of his own pocket. He started like a thing for like young Black girls to start coding like a long time ago. Just like realize, oh, this is where the future is going. And we just bankroll stuff. This would be one of those times he wouldn't leak it, but TMZ finds out Prince gave $10 million to the NAACP or like to whatever fund, or starting his own. Prince is starting his own police.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
The purple?
Listen, the fit's gonna be tremendous.
Tremendous.
The car is gonna be the flyest.
Yeah.
If they're gonna have Prince's name on it, they're gonna be. It's gonna take 147,000 training hours.
Or like, he just sees it in a person. He's like, you.
Yeah. You, come here. Yeah. One of those two. And people will do it. And he'll pick it. He's like, if it's my name, it'll be the best of the best. There'll be no crime. Somebody police officer shows up with a guitar, not a gun. He just starts wailing. Diamonds and pearls. Just laying it on. The criminals are just
they're like, what can we do? Our hands are tied.
yeah, they're like, shh, he's going to the solo.
There's too much funk. What are we to do? Simply too much funk.
And after that, he makes everybody kiss on the mouth, and everybody goes along their day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince creating the police. That's a wild one. Who would oppose this?
Yeah. It's like the way the criminals at the beginning of the second Batman are talking, like it's dark out. They're like, nah, I'm not doing no hand to hands. He's out here. Like that's what people like in their minds. It's like, nah, Prince's police. They're in my thoughts. Like there's
man. I don't want to go over the speed limit, man. Like I don't.
There's no Prince solved traffic. There's no need.
Yeah. Prince has hovercraft. Like we should give $1 billion from every major city police fund to only Prince.
Resurrecting Prince, yeah.
That's step one. Step two is giving Prince complete funding.
He'd be furious we resurrected him.
He'd be really mad. But we were like, hey, we resurrected you to tell you that they were about to release all your material. He'd be like, oh, thanks, Coley and Tyler. I trust you guys. What should I do with all my newfound time?
He hands us both a butterfly. We're like, yeah, what to do with this?
I'm like, I'm just crying. Like, and yeah, he's like, as a gesture of my appreciation, I will now fix the police. And we shake hands.
Do you think he ever shook someone's hand?
Yeah, I feel like it was one of those. He did it he can remember the last time he did it.
Yeah.
It was August 1st, 1977. He was like, it was slimy. I vowed to never do that again. I think it was Tom. I think it must have been Tom Joint, huh? Yeah, the Tom Cotton Morning Show. Yeah, it had to be Tom because that's like the only thing. It was big enough for Prince to do, like to justify doing and having him on. And they were just trying to get him to have any kind of fun, and he is just not with the. I gotta find it because they're. Yeah, wait, it might be on YouTube. We might be able to pull this. I hope unless he may have had it like scrubbed from the.
Certainly possible.
They're just trying to get him to talk about like anything at all. And they're like, he's like, I don't like jokes. They're like, no, like we're just Pepsi or Coke. Like we're just trying to. He's like, I don't really. I don't. They're like, no, boxers or briefs, Prince. What do you like? And he's just not. I was like, Prince, just don't do the jokes. Man. He's Lil Bow Wow. He just doesn't get the memes.
Well, what's crazy is he did, like, not that long ago, New Girl, which was a sitcom on Fox. And there was
he just liked it, right?
Yeah, he called them.
Yeah.
I think his ask was like, can I like come by the set? Like not even like, can I be on? And they were like, what?
Can I see the New Girl?
Yeah, he was like, and then I think he was like, yeah, like if I got a cameo, that'd be cool. They were like, we're gonna write the whole episode about you if that's fine. He was like, all right.
Yeah, that's why he just randomly show up.
It was like a birthday party, and he's there. And he teaches the main character like the true meaning of love in like 5 minutes. Because that's all it takes. There's one point where he puts her in a closet and like he very clearly closes the door from the outside and it's like a dark closet. And then he just like flicks a lighter and he's in the closet.
I would love to see the behind the scene, like the Ken Griffey Jr. getting upset with his lines. Like how many times Prince was like, I don't I don't know. I'm supposed to like just flick the lighter, Prince. That's it. He's like, I don't know about this. This is a little.
He said the only objection, since it was supposed to be like a party with celebrities in it, because it is in LA. And they had originally had a couple of the Kardashians like there to like they had like one speaking role, but they were just like supposed to be there, like in the background and everything. And he saw them and he was like, "What are they doing here?"
No.
And they were like, "Yeah, they're in the episode." And he was like, "They sure aren't."
This one, yeah.
And that was that. They weren't in the episode.
They made the right choice.
Yeah, you talk about the easiest choice ever. I don't even hate the Kardashians, but there hasn't been an easier choice.
But listen, ladies, you got to understand. If you also don't understand, y'all got to get the fuck out. We're about to record with Prince.
Man, that kills me that he was just at his house watching New Girl. He was like, this show's so good, I want to be on it.
Yeah, he would just show up like, why? Prince on The Last Dance. He would just randomly go to. I would love to hear some of that commentary, like Prince and Spike Lee.
Yeah,
at a basketball game. I think Chappelle went to a game or two with him.
Oh yeah, like the Warriors games, right?
I think so. I would just
have to picture those.
A beer, Prince? Oh no, I don't know. A hot dog, some chicken tenders, Prince? No. I don't put that into my body.
Typing fucking Prince, Chappelle, and basketball surprisingly difficult.
Oh, this Ludacris is here.
Yeah, Prince is not hearing it.
Hey, listen, credit to Luda, even to be that close.
For sure. No, he's hearing him out. He's listening.
That's one of, like Prince and Spike Lee sitting to each other. There's got to Spike's like, hey, what are you wearing tonight, man? Like, if we're gonna be sitting beside each other, you know what I'm saying? I can't wear the sweats and the spizikes like I plan to.
What kills me about this is the recommended images are all Chappelle and Prince dying laughing. So he said some bullshit.
Nelly and Prince would have been laughing it up, I bet.
Yeah, this is Ludacris being like, I knew I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. He just made one of those, man. So they ever going to start the game?
Yeah, this was the All-Star game.
Yeah, I don't think I want to sit next to Prince. Yeah, he's mansplaining something to Prince.
Yeah, this is New Girl.
Like, I don't even look real. Like, if you're looking at this 50 years from now, it's like, this is clearly Photoshop.
Right. It has to be so hard to just sit there and be like, yep, I'm acting. This isn't Prince next to me.
Right. No, my name is Philip.
Yeah, this picture's killing. He's like, what?
But it shows some sort of meme. He's a frog drinking tea. I'm not sure.
He's like, you've got the basketball.
This delights me.
What a larf.
He just turned around. Fun for all the boys.
All right, here we go.
Is that Sammy Jack?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's one of those. Sam didn't.
I should have worn something else.
That's the call Spike made and Sam didn't. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because if he's normally wearing this at a game, nobody would care.
Right.
You sit next to Prince. Prince bring out the cane and the cape, man. Come on.
He's dejected in every picture. He can't believe it.
What game is this? Lakers. Okay. Prince kept some heat on him, man. Good grief.
Prince, every
Lionel Richie right there.
I was gonna say every picture he's looked like a completely different person.
I think he is. I think he just had that power, man. Yeah, that's Lionel Richie. And also probably a $19,000 jacket
Without
that
question.
he sold himself. It's just like, yeah, I've got on my sunglasses indoors. Prince. Like
we know.
It's not even recording artist Prince. No, Prince.
Prince.
Again, fire name alert. You tell me if his name was just Rogers Nelson instead, he don't turn out the same. Prince Rogers Nelson.
He's still like a good blues guitarist.
Yeah.
He's not Prince.
Nah.
Like Allen, I was thinking about this when I was walking it too. Allen Iverson. I haven't heard many better basketball names than Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Yeah. Frank Burkowski, he'd still be in prison. Yeah, Alan Ezell. Yeah, man. Like when you got all three, Ann was in her bag.
Oh yeah.
It's also a testament. I know Allen Iverson's mother's name. That's how big he was. Like it's a couple
on the bench with him. That was
Yeah, no, if it was even Allen ALAN, he wouldn't have been the same player.
No. Everything, every note was perfectly aligned.
Yeah, no, she's. I mean, and Prince Rogers Nelson fired too.
Incredible. I just can't. Like people our age and around our age, like plus minus 5 years. If you didn't like watching Allen Iverson play basketball, we grew up and continue to watch fundamentally different sports.
Yeah,
we can't see eye to eye on much if you're anti Allen Iverson.
But the advanced numbers, Mick, don't you understand his true shooting?
I promise you, I'll never understand. I watched him play. That
was your problem.
This was, and you were there for this. The biggest testament I can give to Allen Iverson is well after he was done, when we were standing at the inaugural Big Three.
Mm-hmm.
And this man just entered the building. He wasn't playing. He was just walking. And in the middle of another game, the entire Barclays stood up and started cheering. He was just walking. He didn't even play there.
Standing ovation. Right. He wasn't born in New York. Like he was. Our boys come home.
No. Allen, like I said this too, because I think someone tweeted me about Moss when I was tweeting about Iverson. And like Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, and Randy Moss, to me, they're inseparable in my mind. They're all, it's not to say they're all the same person, but my enjoyment of sports was the same watching them three play. On and off the field. Obviously, Vic ran into some trouble there in the middle.
Debatable.
And Moss was no angel.
Yeah, I know.
But it was like they were all playing a different sport than their contemporaries. The way they all were so like there was no other Randy Moss. There were other tall, fast wide receivers. Right. There were no other Randy Mosses. Right. There have been other short.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been other running quarterbacks. Like there's no other Allen Iverson. That like when Isaiah Thomas had his top 5 MVP season, people were like, he's better than Iverson. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. That's again, if you're watching, you're telling me you're watching only the numbers, which is fine. It sounds. I'm watching the game. Like you can't, if you tell me you watch both those, like the game, what those guys had to do for their respective teams. Like,
And it's not even a knock on Isaiah. It just
right.
makes like it's taking away from Isaiah when you say stuff like that.
Right.
And it's at no fault of his own because he was tremendous that year. He wasn't no Allen Iverson.
He's also like the main guy. I feel like I see Reggie Miller gets a lot of the, well, if he came up in this time, he'd be so much more valued. And I'm like, if Allen Iverson came up in this time, he wouldn't have played 44 minutes in a game. Like
For 5 straight years.
Like, rookie year 40, 39, 42, 41, 42, 44, 43, 43, 42, 43, 43, 42. That was his 32-year-old season in Denver where he scored 26 a game. So it's like, yeah, okay. What if he knew he didn't have to play, if he didn't get 1 minute of rest every quarter,
yeah,
and know that he had to still lead the team in shots, like by far, then yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's not great that he shot 42%. I get it. But if you're looking back, like you're not, it's like he had good players on his team. Were good role players.
right.
Like Aaron McKee and George Lynch, Dikembe, great role players. But we see every year in the playoffs, if you don't have a guy that one can create his own shot, or two, like you got to have two of those guys because it's too easy to shut down one.
Even if you don't none of those guys were even like capable of like hitting just open shots. You know what I mean? Like it was, there wasn't much they could do offensively. That's why I need to know, and I'm upset I didn't ask directly. Well, like if it was just, even if he had Stackhouse, you know what I mean? It's like, why did Philly get rid of him so quickly?
It was, I think they both wanted the most shots.
Probably.
I feel like with a different coach, they probably work it out, but also he might have needed Larry Brown. Like sometimes guys just like,
and he loved Larry Brown.
I was say like Phil and Michael. It's like, this is I'm not interested in playing for anybody else.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who are like, oh, this team drafted me, I never want to play anyone else, and then they get traded. They're like, oh, actually, this is better. You know what I mean? Like he might have thought that, and Allen Iverson seems like a supremely loyal human being, so I get it. But I don't know, and maybe Larry Brown could have figured it out if he was given a little bit longer. It's not like it was 5 years and it just didn't work out. Like, no, it was pretty quick, and then he was traded.
Like I don't think I realized it took 3 years before Iverson made the All-Star game. He went All-Star till his 4th year in the league.
Well, he's no Doncic.
Well, his year 3 at 23 years old, played 41 and a half minutes, 27 points a game, 5 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals. Did not make the All-Star game.
Well, this is like interesting because Doncic hasn't shot over like 31% from 3 yet, right?
Something around that.
So it's like
on 2K.
20 years from now, are people going to be like, oh, that guy wasn't that nice. He wasn't even shooting league average. You know what I mean? Like, how stupid would that fucking sound?
Listen, it'd be like, he was shooting more of them.
Right. Yeah. Pass the rock, Missy.
Donchie. And yet, career 31% 3-point shooter. He wasn't taking a lot of them because that's another thing. It's like you can't explain. It was a different game. Like it just wasn't. No, he got to the line a lot. He got a lot of shit. Like he's a bad defender. It's like at that size, there's only so good of a defender you can be. And he was still getting 2.5 steals a game. Like
he led the league in steals multiple times.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's trying. I mean, like he's like loafing out there. It's like well, James Harden stinks on defense. Well, he's at 2 steals a game again. Like he's doing something.
And I was like that. I thought it was interesting after Kobe passed, there were some people being like they always wanted Kobe to be the face of the league, especially in the early 2000s, because he was more Grant Hill, like proper,
more marketable.
Yeah, super marketable. And then they had this ruffian out east with all these gang tattoos and braids and the baggy shorts.
The baggiest.
Yeah, and it was just like Yeah, they would use Iverson to get those clicks because they knew how popular it was, but it was always to detract. It was never to build up.
Yeah,
And you see what happens. Like I'm not trying to speak ill on the dead, but you see what happens when it's like, oh yeah, this guy looks prim and proper, and then all of a sudden he's got a case he's got to deal with. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like how people look. Like Allen Iverson was authentic, which is why people love him to this day. He was always authentically Allen Iverson, and people will always love and respect someone who's what you're going to get from them, and it's a real human being than someone manufactured. And obviously, people love Kobe. It's not even to be divisive like that, but it is more like David Stern trying to be like, no, we want that guy. I'm going to actually put in all these racist ass rules to try and tone down that guy.
He created a monster. I hope he's proud of himself. And I say that not in jest either, but this is what now people were mad before, so they create the dress code. Now people mad, people putting too much time into the dress. Like, they ain't win.
But yeah, Allen Iverson. And I don't think there's a better example of the media being fucking absolute dickheads to Allen Iverson than the practice rant.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows the not a game, not a game. It's one of the most famous rants in sports, like any era, any sport. It's one of the most famous. And they never, ever show. I had multiple people when I posted the clip be like, I've never seen this part of it. It's a 30-minute press conference. Like I get they're not going to air the whole thing every time.
It's the Mark Wahlberg shit. Every time it comes up, more and more people I had no idea about this. It's like, yeah a lot of people don't because they never mention that part.
People... Like, it's funny for sure. And he was not happy that day. And then he explains, like, yeah, my best friend is dead. We lost. I'm upset about losing. But they made it out to seem like he was selfish and he was skipping practice because he was lazy. Like, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was also... He also got a lot of the he practiced more. Like, God, you want him to practice hard and play 44 minutes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ. Like... Y'all gotta pick a side, man. Like you can't say he's selfish and he don't care when he playing 44 minutes again. Like,
right. Yeah, that's why he was like, ask my teammates if I'm not trying my absolute hardest.
Yeah.
So those bums need practice. I'm fine.
They need to get their shit together. He is also, and it's rare, and that's why it's so cool when it happens. Like when a guy goes to a city that is like tailor made to understand him, like to get him. Like it worked. Like the next year, it worked in a completely different way. But like Duncan going to San Antonio, just fit perfectly. Like I think Lamar in Baltimore, like it just fits.
Yeah,
it's one of those. Like if you get it, like I hope it's Embiid and Philly.
Oh boy. Embiid and Philly. I think Larry and Magic, if they had swapped, those teams would have been just as good, both of them. But boy, oh boy, you talk about clashing. Like Boston couldn't have wanted to root for anyone more than Larry Bird. And LA was, you talk about a perfect place for Magic Johnson to fall. With his personality, he would have been damn near claustrophobic in Boston. And that has nothing to do with race, just it's not fucking Hollywood, obviously. So yeah, Iverson going to Philly without question. It's the East Coast. I think there are a couple of East Coast cities that he could have fallen to that would have loved him just the same. But I do think it's just the East Coast. Him being just that, like his highlight reels, I think everyone remembers his crossovers and all that, but Allen Iverson used to put people on posters out of boredom just because he could. And he was – it bothers me that the NBA lied about height as often as they did because he, as far as I'm concerned, is the only person under 6 foot to win MVP. And he was tiny. He was fucking tiny. And he played way bigger than his physical stature. That was Allen Iverson. His commercials were cool. His shoes were cool. He kept Reebok alive way longer than they should have been. And yeah, he doesn't have a ring. He shot 42%. So people hold that against him all these years later. And it's dumb. I'll say it. It's fucking stupid. If you're one of these people, a text message from Tyler. It won't let me rejoin. What's done is done. Coming up on 4 hours anyways. It's fine. Oh, God, what was I saying? Oh, if you're one of these people who tries to tear down Allen Iverson's legacy, there will always be a me. There will always be a Tyler. There will always be people who watch basketball because we like basketball. To tell you to go shut the fuck up. Because it's and this is why Kevin Durant said, like, we're talking hoops. We're not talking advanced metrics. We're not talking numbers. We're not talking that shit. Of course there's a spot for it in the sport. Of course there is. But like actual dyed-in-the-wool basketball fans, when we're talking about it, we don't want to talk that shit. We want to talk about Allen Iverson and players like that, putting people on their ass, going to the rim whenever they wanted to. Doesn't matter if Shaq's down there. Doesn't matter who's down there. I'm going to score because I'm Allen Iverson. You're not. Liar.
Like I was saying, yeah, no, I don't. It was just like, no. It was like, internet's fine. You can't join. Take that. Like,
Racist.
Yeah, I'm Googling the things very easily. So it wasn't the internet. StreamYard's just like, no, stay out.
You know, I was saying Bird and Magic, if you would swap them.
Yeah.
Like Bird might have retired day one.
Listen, Magic might have, I don't know what the talent.
He would have felt like claustrophobic in Boston. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't. Like LA, it's just like, yeah, go outside, be free, be in a movie. Boston, it's like, oh, you go to work. Like, go.
Yeah, get a shovel, Johnson. Yeah, and it's like, I think like LeBron was kind of forced to get Cleveland. Like, yeah. But I'm really trying to think of, I don't know. Like Dame in Portland might be that. Doncic in Dallas right now was already at 96.
You know, I think we've seen it a bunch all over. But the other thing I was saying is like the people who try and tear down his legacy, like there will always be a me and a you telling them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I just want to... Like just the same energy. Like if we taking the context into it, and again, like Reggie Miller, it's like, well, he, you know, nobody was shooting threes. He would have. Well, why does he only get that benefit? I just want the same context applied for everybody. Like, yeah, if he came up in this era and he wasn't playing literally like an entire quarter more than Giannis, who is playing,
right?
Who also has one MVP as of right now.
Yeah,
as of right now. But yeah, if he didn't have to play 44 minutes a game, it's absurd he even was as durable as he was.
Right.
So that's a thing where it's like, yeah, no, the wheels fell off quick. Yeah, I see why. He had pitched 4,000 innings. So it's like, yeah, when it came to an end, it came to an end.
I always appreciate Iverson really embracing the next generation.
And the older generation, like I feel like he shows love for everybody and hugs everybody like he's a great grandma, which is tremendous.
When I was watching like different highlights and stuff and trying to rip video for yesterday, I saw Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson was like, he calls me once a week, tells me he loves me, and hangs up. Like that's
love. That is love.
Like, you know, I'd talk more, but I've got 400 more people I have to make this call to.
Yeah, no, I'm just going down the list. Let's see. Steven Jackson, I've got to call him.
But yeah, Allen Iverson saw 45.
Getting closer to Reebok money. That's gonna be a day. If the world still exists, then
It's still 10 years. So there's some time.
yeah. But yeah, no, there was, and it's probably wild to say that it's a time where Allen Iverson seeing 45 wasn't guaranteed at all.
And I know I said it when he passed. If you had Iverson outliving Kobe Bryant, I don't know how many people would have taken that bet.
Yeah. It would have been a shitty bet to take.
Stupid, yeah, dumb bet for sure. But
yeah,
I don't think Iverson would have bet on Iverson.
Nah, he's like, nah, I don't. Like it's a thing. Like again, Last Dance on the brain. Like you watch Jordan, like, and just how maniacal he is, how competitive he is, like how he treated his team, like all like for the sake of winning. And that's where it's like, man, like Iverson never won a championship, but it's like, what was the cost, man? When like every single teammate, every other young star and old star in the league talks like fondly about this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, there's almost feels like there's more than one way to go about it. Maybe there's a world where Allen Iverson.
Yo.